All of us from Southeast Asia, we've exposed to a lot more different cultures, so we can tell the difference.
I also think like us living in the UAE has opened up our minds in general because we got to meet so many different nationalities.
Me, I grew up listening Lata Mangeshkar from
We
India.
all,
wow.
we all
Ghulam Ali
Yes.
from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because back in 70s, 80s, all the Nepali movies has Pakistani singer, Indian singers.
I think one thing we can agree on is, unlike the Western culture, family is involved heavily.
If you think your children is yours, actually you are doing it wrong for them. Every problem comes from owning.
Even though I'm a married woman, and I've said this many times on my page as well, I do not strongly believe in the concept of marriage. If you really want to do that, good for you. Go do it if that is something you believe in. But I do not think marriage is the only way to solidify a relationship.
But I'll tell you what, chai is also an expression of love. When you make it for someone or when someone makes it for you, you know that person loves you.
Is chai the same in all of our languages?
We say chaya.
In Punjabi, we say cha.
Chia.
In Sinhalese, it's te.
It was during an India-Pakistan match. I was wearing, of course, the Pakistan jersey. Almost everyone there was wearing the Indian jersey. But I went there with this huge thermos of chai. And as soon as others started seeing the thermos, all the Indians that started coming, they're like, can I also get a glass? Can I get a cup? So I just realized that no matter where you are, chai is truly something that will bring us together. Namaskaram.
Namaste.
Assalamualaikum.
Are you both?
I'm so excited for this episode.
This episode is brought to you by Brooke Bond Red Label.
Thank you so much for coming, guys, on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
We all had nothing to do.
Yeah.
But you have a lovely karak over here that you can
Yes.
enjoy. Honestly, this is just going to be about our cultures, our traditions. I'm so excited to hear different stories, experiences that all of you had. I think to start off, it would be interesting if we could start with this statement that we all must have heard in our lives, and it's that all South Asians are the same. I'm sure we've heard that.
Always.
Right? Do you think it's fair that people say all South Asians are the same?
It's not fair, but it's understood why that's said as well.
Okay.
I think saying it, I think it's if the generalization is that all South Asians look the same, I think that's where it gets a little offensive to me.
Fair enough.
Like if they're like, oh wait, you look like you're from this place. I'm like, but I'm not from there. Like, why would you assume I'm from, like how people say that you're from some part of India when you're actually Sri Lankan.
Correct.
I feel in that case, it comes off as offensive. So in certain aspects, it's fine. Again, depends on how they frame the sentence. Like
In
are
which
you-
context?
Exactly. In which
right?
context.
Exactly.
In what sense you are saying that?
Yeah.
So in what context does it make sense then?
I guess I love for chai to begin with.
Yeah,
For most of the South Asians. And in cricket. You know, we've got a few things in common, so that kind of makes sense. Like I love for spices, for example. Every South Asian cuisine, whether it's Nepali, yeah, exactly. Food in general, whether it's Nepali, Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, we love our spicy food, we love our spices, we love our flavors. So I guess in that context, it does make sense. But you're right, there's a lot that unites us, but at the same time, there's a lot that's very, very different
Very
from each other.
different. Yeah. And people just kind of put all of us in just one bucket. I think we've all, at least once in our lives, been called an Indian.
Oh, for sure.
Like an Indian
Yeah.
is the most common because obviously the population of India is one of the biggest. I think 1 in every 6
and everyone
people
knows
is
about
Indian.
India.
And everyone knows about India. So I'm sure we've all been mistaken as an Indian. But how do you feel when people come to you and they're like, oh, are you Indian?
I don't mind if someone ever says that to me, but when I explain to them, no, I'm actually from Pakistan, but then they're like, it's the same thing. That's when I'm like,
That's-
no, that's not the same
That's
thing.
just an uneducated response.
Yeah,
Honestly.
that's just uncultured. Like I think that's where it comes wrong. But I don't really feel offended when someone comes to me and they say I'm Indian or they ask me if I'm Indian. You can tell with the intentions of a person as well when they say it.
Like
but you-
context matters a
Exactly.
lot.
Yeah. So I don't really feel offended by that because I'm like, yeah, I mean, we're
We're from the same subcontinent.
Yeah,
so,
so
we
I'm
will
like, I
resemble
get
each
it.
Other.
Yeah. But when they're like, oh yeah, as you said, it's the same thing, whatever, that's where I guess it comes from. But what about you guys?
Same thing. I mean, I don't ever get offended. In fact, I find it difficult to convince people that I'm Sri Lankan. I mean, I've had that challenge in the last 3 years since I've moved here to Dubai. Like the taxi guys, I mean, I don't know if I can speak into it. They're like, "Tum itna gora, itna acha Hindi baat karta, tum kaise Sri Lanka se ho sakta hai?" You know, things like that. I'm like, you want me to show your passport? Show me your passport or what? But yeah, I mean, like I said, ethnically, I am Indian, to be fair. My grandparents were from Gujarat, but we're second generation Sri Lankans, and I take a lot of pride in that because, it's a unique and a good advantage to have. And it can be offensive when someone doesn't believe you, saying, no, I don't believe it. But, it's a matter of, listen, I'm not someone who takes offense very easily. But it depends on which context, like Shazia said. If it's purposely to kind of put you down and make you feel inferior just because you're from that part of the world, then I'm punching you in the face.
It pisses me off more when...
Yes.
Okay, this is going to be a little
Controversial.
but it pisses me off more when a white person comes up to me and says, "Do you speak Indian?" Oh, I'm sorry.
Which language
What
from
language
India?
is that?
Oh my God.
Do you speak Indian?
And when they think like Indian, Arabian, all of this is the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when I play, for instance, an Arab song and my friends are like, oh, is that an Hindian song?
Indian? Okay.
I was like, where did that come from? Or they even said, do you speak Hindu?
Oh, wow.
So many times. They asked me, do you speak Hindu? I'm like, what?
That is ignorance at its peak. Man.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's annoying. It's
Yes.
sometimes I don't feel offended. I just feel annoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can get
Because
offended.
people just want to stay ignorant. Like, they don't even want to educate themselves. And that's where the problem is.
That also opens up a discussion because all of us from Southeast Asia, we've exposed to a lot more different cultures.
Right.
So we can tell the difference.
Oh,
right?
that's a good point.
Whereas Europeans and Americans, for example, I wouldn't say they're close-minded or tunnel-visioned, but they aren't exposed to different cultures as much as we are. Their cultures are very similar.
Yeah.
Right? For example, a Sri Lankan culture, it might look similar from the outside, but there's so much more different from what a Nepali would be or from a Pakistani would be. But for whites or Westerners, for example, their culture is very, very similar. So they haven't been exposed to that, unfortunately. And therefore, their assumption is that, okay, just like all of us are one type, all these Asians and the Easterners must be the same. So that's probably an explanation, in their defense.
I also
Colonizer
think
mentality.
living in
Yeah,
the UAE...
basically. That we're
I also
dealing
think
with.
like us living in the UAE has opened up our minds
Correct.
in general because we got to meet so many different nationalities. As a Pakistani, if I was living in Pakistan, I wouldn't really ever meet a Nepalese guy or from Sri Lanka. So that also makes it plays a big role in that.
Yeah, I feel like I never realized the difference between South Asians, which may be also ignorant in my part, but I never really realized that much of a difference because I was growing up here. Only when I started posting content about like India, Pakistan, and people started commenting, they're like, no, you're so different, you're this. That's when I realized that I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think people in Pakistan, in India do feel a greater sense of difference. But then when you move abroad and then when you live together, then you don't feel it as much. That's how I see it.
It depends on the community you're with also,
True.
I feel.
No, like I get what you mean. Like in Pakistan, for example, the community is just Pakistanis. Over here, it's always, we go to different places. Even starting from our schools, we meet so many different nationalities since the beginning. So our communities definitely change. Our friends are from different countries.
Yeah, like my best friend growing up was Indian.
Same.
And I find that like so normal. Some people ask me how, and I'm like, what do you mean how? What is so confusing about that? But it's so normal. And the point that you just brought up about people in the West or people in the US are kind of, a lot of people in the US also haven't traveled outside of the US. Like majority of people live that haven't traveled outside. And the second thing is within, for instance, Pakistan and within our countries, there are so many different languages that are spoken, different ethnic groups. So we see a lot of diversity within our own country. Whereas when you look at the US, everyone speaks English. Like the American, they speak one language. So there's not even diversity within the country. So it's hard for them to acknowledge that, I guess.
I still feel there are better ways to ask those
Oh, yeah.
questions.
Correct.
Like, frame your sentences properly. Don't say, do you speak Indian? What language do you speak? Where are you from? Like, ask that. When you're talking to someone new, don't just assume they're from India because they look a certain way. Where are you from? It's so simple.
I love how you're teaching them English. You're like,
Like, you're the colonizer. You should be knowing how to speak to us, bro.
It's like they take pride in their ignorance when they say that. Yeah, do you speak Indian? Like, I know it's probably not it's one language.
I'm sure they know it,
Yeah,
right?
but like I can't be bothered finding out. That's kind of the
Exactly.
attitude. I mean, listen, no hate for white people or Western, but we're just saying
Oh,
like,
no.
instances.
I love it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I had one more point that I wanted to make about this whole thing, right? You talked about how when we're in UAE, because we see each other's cultures, so we become a bit more accepting and we understand. And I think if you look at it that way, that's why I have great respect for this country and its leadership, because if you can have Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans, Bangladesh living in the same place without fighting each other, then you've done a good job. Right? And also, you also come to realize living with different cultures is that, listen, all our struggles are the same. We might have different cultures, different religions, different nationalities, but end of the day, what makes us human is the same things. We've got our families, we've got our values, we've got our businesses, we've got our struggles, our hardships, our good times, our bad times. End of the day, whether you're white, black, brown, it doesn't matter. We all have the same damn issues that we deal with every single day.
Yeah, we're all human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And there are, I would like to believe that there's more similarities than there are differences.
100%.
That's for
And
sure.
yeah, that's why I feel like, it's so easy for us to connect with one another when you instantly, like even when you're traveling, I feel like you instantly, when you see someone from Nepal, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, India, you just instantly connect with them.
Correct.
At least, from my experiences.
And I think when we go to a European country as a South Asian, the moment we see another South Asian, we'll become friends. Or we'll just automatically, even if it's a stranger. So that's what you're talking about. Like we have something in common, we become friends so easily.
Why do you think that is? Why is it so easy to...
We just see someone just like us. It's kind of like a representation or something. So we connect and we're like, you know what? We feel safe with them.
I feel like it's an internalized, like you said, an internalized colonizer thing. Like, for a very long time, I was very intimidated by white people around me. I felt very inferior to them. I feel like that also came a little bit from my brown household. I'm not going to lie. My mom
That's very common, by the way.
Yeah,
my
mom growing up, like, there was a lot of that, don't go out in the skin, you'll become dark. Your English, my mom literally used to say that you need to have British English when you speak. Oh my God! I'm from India, mother.
Yeah.
Okay, our national tongue is Malayalam. So, like, she used to say, like, you need to speak English beautifully. And I'm like, okay. So I think it comes from a sense, not just from the way we were raised, but also like from what we've learned from the media we've taken in and everything, that, white people, wow. And when it comes to brown people, we have the sense of inferiority, I feel that. And to make that change, it's still so hard, even after generations. I sometimes still feel a little intimidated when I'm surrounded by white people. I'm like, okay, where are my brown people?
It's like, it's funny because, I used to travel to quite extensively when I was back in Sri Lanka. It's like you are expected to adapt to their culture and personality, but they'll never make that adjustment. Right? Like even when I'm around white people, automatically I see myself putting on an accent, even though I don't like to. It just naturally happens.
I used to do that as well, but I stopped doing that because I was like, I am not going to put up a fake accent just to fit in. And there's nothing, and people used to call me like, what? Curry something? They used to call me Indian curry something. And I'm like, I am proud to be called that. Yes, curry flows in my veins.
Flavor.
Yes, at least you come here.
Masala and spices.
You come here, steal our spices. You don't even take the shatafa and go, what is wrong with you?
And the best thing we could give you, you didn't even bother taking.
I know. Came and took our diamonds and everything.
Best thing. No, I love that. And I think it really does go down to how we're brought up. Like that mindset of how we associate white people with superiority. We think they're superior. We think we automatically see them and we think they must be smarter than me. They must speak better than me. They must do this better than me. I don't know why, but it's a subconscious thing. And for me, until now, like I know growing up, I also felt that. And only later on in my life, I think when I started traveling a little more, was when I was like, no, like they're not that smart.
Yeah, no, it's not just that. My friends who live in New York, they're like, New York, it stinks.
Oh yeah, I was like, do they know hygiene?
Like, no, because they say that New York literally smells so bad.
There's a New York smell. Like it has its own smell because of all the mixture of disgusting stuff. Yeah.
And like, they were like, please, like New York is so like, it's shown beautifully in movies and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But my friends have gone there, they're like, we're never going back there again.
Yeah.
It sucks. I'm like, okay. So white
But
people.
that's the thing. We all have these aspirations of moving to a Western country, right? Like, again, this is something we've been brought up with.
Yeah,
like,
I
you
have
need
that.
to go
They
settle in
sold
England.
us that dream.
Yeah.
First of all, they
Exactly.
ruled us, and then they sold us that you need to come to us. Let us steal everything from
Even
you.
though we'll make it miserable for you to come
Yeah,
back. We'll make
exactly.
life very hard. We
No
won't give visas
healthcare,
easily.
Yeah.
nothing.
And then if you think about it, people who are there are struggling.
Yeah.
Taxes, childcare. I mean, it's so difficult. Crime
crime.
right now in the Western countries.
Oh my
everywhere.
God, it's insane.
In fact, they are all moving here to the UAE.
Yeah, everyone's leaving there.
Exactly.
They're going to Canada, they're coming here. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, this is not Karak with Mahreen hate whites people episode. We're not going there. You know,
But this
no hate.
shows
It's just-
how much it plays a part in our culture.
In our culture
like
itself.
the whole
It affects us.
it affects us. Like we feel they're superior to us because we were brought up that way, and because we have that complex. I don't know what it's called, like inferiority complex. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So
So because we were talking about how South Asians are considered all the same, we talked a little bit about how there is some truth to it. Can I understand what is that truth? Like, I want to dive deeper into why people think South Asians are the same. Like, what actually makes us similar? And then we could talk a little bit about why that's not true and there are actually differences. So maybe we can talk a little bit more on the similarities aspect. What do you think, or what do you think makes us South Asian?
The shataf.
Biryani.
Yes,
Rice.
Habibi chai.
Rice and chai.
Yes.
I
Rice and
think
chai.
food definitely plays a big role. Like someone, when they think of biryani, they will think everyone, like Indian biryani and then Pakistanis, like everyone kind of has a biryani in their culture.
yeah.
So food definitely makes us kind of similar in every way. Even our fashion is pretty similar.
Yeah.
As Pakistanis, we have saris as well. And then in India, we have
Pakistani
saris.
fashion.
Also Sri Lanka.
And Sri Lanka. And Nepal, you guys.
So our national food is lentil and rice.
See,
Oh,
rice.
rice.
Dal Chawal.
Dal Chawal.
Dal Chawal.
That's right.
That's a
That's what
staple.
makes. And I also think like again going in a different. I want to explain this in a different way. If we go back, we know whenever we face the problem or we face any confusion, we should go to the root, right? So if you go like 2,000 years ago, I think it's because of the philosophy that we look same. We are same. Let's not dive into this, but yes, because like the way you think, the Indian thing. Me, I grew up listening Lata Mangeshkar from India.
We all.
wow.
We
Or
all
Ghulam
do.
Ali
Yes.
from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because back in 70s, 80s, all the Nepali movies has Pakistani singer, Indian singers. Even the filmmaker, they used to come to Nepal to make a Nepali movie. So I'm sure I can sing a more song from Pakistani singers than Mahreen. Because
Let's hear it.
so there is a song from Ghulam Ali. It's called Gazaluti Tula Tula Akha. Okay, it means like the eyes full of kajal. It's so like they are, what do you call this one?
Ghazal.
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 Right?
Ah,
The way
ghazal.
so I used to think like how these people can play with the words. The ring you have in your finger. What such a lucky rings. Just to be in your finger, right?
Oh,
So like that.
that is poetic.
One thing Bollywood songs do is create this really high level of expected love,
it's a
which is very hard to maintain.
And by the way, it's a Nepali song. Yeah. No.
Okay, all right. I thought we were on the same.
So it's a Nepali song. It was sung by Ghulam Ali. So there is two songs. It's famous in Nepal. So it's Gazaluti Tula Tula Akha, means the big eyes full of kajals. So it's the title. So yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to the Ghulam Ali, Lata Mangeshkar, Asa Bhosle.
And I literally grew up listening to Indian singers because my dad would play those songs. So it's a huge part of our culture. And I think Bollywood is another reason everyone thinks we're the same.
Shah Rukh Khan unites
Shah
us.
Rukh Khan, because we all
Shah
love
Rukh Khan
Shah Rukh
unites us
Khan.
all.
Shah Rukh Khan definitely unites us all. I will literally fight in the comments with people for Shah Rukh Khan.
You should
especially
meet my
after
wife.
what happened in
Oh.
the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh my
I
God.
love how we all came together to educate the West on Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah.
How could you?
Nobody knew
disrespect
who
the
he
king?
was?
Yeah, you didn't see the video?
What?
No, they
We talked
Oh
about
my
ignorance. There.
They asked him
This is a
to
global
introduce
icon and-
himself. Like they asked him, "Oh, who are you?"
Like, who are you?
And also I think like
That's blasphemy.
Yeah, that was insane. So I think Bollywood definitely is one reason. Also, we all connect together. We grew up listening
See,
to those
if
music.
we go back, it's because it's the movies, it's
Yeah.
the food,
media.
it's the culture. Like you said, are you Hindu? I'm sorry.
No, I'm Muslim.
You're
but
Muslim, right?
I know I don't
so
look
like
it.
in India, in Nepal. I'm sorry, yeah. I don't know if.
No, it's totally fine.
So-
Totally fine.
So we
totally
celebrate
fine.
the same festival. Like in India, we celebrate Diwali. in Nepal also we celebrate Diwali. We there's a day in Nepal we celebrate dogs.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
yeah, we celebrate dogs
Wow.
in Diwali. So there is a day, a special day for dogs. We pray, we
Wow.
thank him for his loyalty.
Wow.
Is there anything for cats?
It's
What
it's
about
called,
the poor
it's called
cats?
yeah.
Come on.
So we call kukur.
Oh,
It's called kukur tihar, means it's dog Diwali.
Ah.
So yeah, so
So
if you
it's
go to
only
Nepal,
dogs.
if you can
He
sure
just
literally
ignored your
yeah.
question. He's like,
So if you-
cats don't matter. It's okay.
yeah,
my
you-
cats
I
can.
actually, I'm sorry to say, but you know, if you go to Nepal, you didn't see cats.
Oh, it's not common.
Like yeah, it's only dogs.
Wow, that's so interesting.
But
It's okay, I love all
most of the
animals.
places, yeah.
Yeah, we were
So yeah,
raised
you
with
can
dog
continue.
phobia,
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
Oh,
not coming anywhere
really?
close to
You were
Nepal.
raised? Yeah, actually, same.
why?
I don't know. Like growing up, I think we were just told dogs are kind of scary.
They're out there to bite you.
What
They're
if
out
they?
there
Yeah.
to-
What if they?
I was so
but
scared of dogs.
We grew up hearing that they're haram.
Oh yeah.
See, that's the thing. You can't say dogs are haram.
Yeah.
That's a bit more technical than that.
Is
so,
that though?
so
It's
the
not
thing is,
haram,
the thing
but-
is, the saliva of the dog is considered impure, which means if you touch it, you cannot pray.
In that specific area.
So if
especially.
you are touched by dog saliva, you gotta go bathe.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So that doesn't make dog a bad animal.
Yeah.
No, because-
but
Okay, so you
that's
gotta
what-
make that difference.
Yeah.
That's how people kind of extrapolate these kind of sayings, and they just start saying. Because I also grew up hearing that dogs are haram, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's altogether wrong. Yeah.
It's literally allowed to keep them in your house, like
At a distance.
for protection.
Yeah.
It's
For security.
Not, like it's not like it's haram to keep.
No,
them.
that's what we used to
Right.
keep them. And my friends, like the more very this religious ones, would be like, "Isn't that haram? Like, why?" I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Are they?
No, the thing is, so because we were brought up with this idea that in a Muslim household there's no dogs, we were always afraid of them. Like street dogs. Sri Lanka has many street dogs. Like we have movements to help stray dogs, right? We would be afraid, like even to cycle on the streets. I'm like, okay, what if a dog chases me? And I'd be so afraid of dogs.
So there was like a fear of dogs.
There
that
was,
was-
and now where I work, my boss, he has 2 huge dogs and he brings them to office every day.
What breed are they?
I don't even know.
Huskies?
I just said I was brought up with a dog phobia. I cannot tell you a difference between one dog and another.
I love animals.
But now I'm getting around it now because I don't mind it grazing my foot and all that because I know, okay, as long as it doesn't lick me, I'm fine. You know?
I love dogs now. Now
Okay.
I've gotten rid of that.
Why you don't like
If you
cats?
just meet, I love cats.
Okay.
Cats was like always. Dogs is recent. Yeah,
All
but
right.
I still haven't gotten over my fear of dogs because my brother got chased by a dog when he was a child, so I've been traumatized since then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, same.
that
My
will
wife,
take
she
time.
hates dogs. Like if it's a dog in like 100 meters ahead, she'll start walking behind.
Yeah,
me.
that's me.
Oh,
That's me,
okay. Wow.
That's me with clowns.
Depends why you define a clown. Like the
No,
circus type clown.
The circus type.
Yeah, there are different kinds of clowns
I
on
have
the streets
such
as
a-
well.
Those clowns I can handle.
You said what makes us same, right?
He was talking
So
about
yeah,
music
it's
and-
the food, it's the music, it's the film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And our clothing as well. Like I said, fashion is very similar.
In fact, we got to you because you were going to explain to us what women in Nepal wear. We said all saris. But
Yeah,
what is the
yeah,
common
what we're-
attire for a woman in
It's
in
kurta
Nepal?
and saris.
Oh, there you go.
kurta
Nice.
Same
We
thing.
have
Same
kurtas
thing, yeah.
already.
Kurta, shalwar kameez.
So shalwar kameez is a
Shalwar,
thing
yeah.
everywhere,
No,
right? Shalwar kameez.
yeah.
Shalwar kameez, sorry. But is there something that's a little different in?
if you go to national, if we
Yeah,
talk about
national
national
dress,
dress,
yeah.
for men it's called it's similar to kurta, but I forgot.
You need to go in the summer, my friend.
Yeah,
You're forgetting your
similar.
roots.
It's similar to kurta.
Okay.
But yes,
but
but
there's
right
like
now,
a different term
only
for it,
on
but
if
it's
you-
the same thing.
it's the same thing.
Is it like a lungi or is it a pant?
not the pant?
Okay.
It's not lungi.
And then for Sri Lanka, do
So
they
Sri
have
Lankan
like
national dress is a white sarong kind of thing. It's a lungi and a white shirt. That's the national dress. But the common man always wears a shirt and a trouser. And the woman normally it's sari or shalwar kameez.
Okay, yeah. So outfits
the same for all of
very
us.
similar, right? Very similar. When it comes to food, I want to talk a little bit more about food because there's so much to dissect. Because there are differences as well within food and there are similarities. So right off the bat, we talked about some kind of foods that are similar. You talked about chai. You talked about biryani. Let's do biryani,
Okay.
right? Who has the best biryani?
Oh my god, I knew this.
This is an all-out India versus Pakistan.
Kerala
All right.
biryani is the best.
Genuinely,
Oh.
although I'm from Pakistan, I would say like I know. Hot take.
Hyderabadi.
No.
Should we hold hands?
Yes, Hyderabadi biryani is the best.
100%. I agree. As a
Hyderabadi
Sri Lankan,
biryani
I
is-
agree too.
Really?
Hyderabadi
Have
biryani.
you tasted Kerala biryani?
I have.
From where?
I have. From the millions of Kerala cafeterias that are in
Not
Dubai.
Kerala cafeterias.
Take.
No, but Hyderabadi dum biryani for the
No,
win.
but
Always.
I genuinely had like
Actually, the
authentic-
Hyderabadi is pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
the best one.
The
But I
Indian
don't know if
Hyderabadi.
It's okay,
Indian
Sajid.
Hyderabadi. That's-
I'll
To be
say
honest, I haven't
I'll say it's
tried,
Kerala.
Oh,
yeah. So,
let me take care of it.
No,
so
we'll all go.
I would like to try it.
So
We'll all go.
how is Kerala biryani different?
First
from,
of all, I think the rice in itself is
Oh.
different. Hyderabadi biryani uses the long grain basmati rice.
Yes.
We use the short jeera rice.
Okay.
What?
The very
Wow.
small
I thought
one.
everyone uses
No,
basmati rice.
no. We there are some places in Kerala where they use the basmati rice, but you should taste the one that
Oh
we
my
make at our
God.
house.
But I feel
Girl.
betrayed because I love basmati rice.
No,
it's okay.
Have you tasted the jeera
No,
rice?
I haven't right.
I'm always open to trying different cuisines. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's
I
good.
would love
like
to
for
try.
example, butter chicken has united all of us.
Exactly.
Including the white people.
Yes. Because that's the
More
only
the
Indian
white
dish they know.
people.
That is their national dish.
That's the only Indian dish they know.
They took our dish and made
And
it
there's
theirs.
like chicken tikka or something was like
A chicken tikka
voted
masala,
as the best dish in the UK
chicken
or
tikka
something.
masala is the national dish of England.
Yeah, I
Already?
heard
Really?
that.
Yeah.
This came out recently and I was like, what?
They
This
have no
cannot
spices,
be
so
true.
they take ours.
This cannot be true. But I'm sure the chicken tikka there tastes quite different from
I mean, it's
how we would have
definitely like
horrible.
sweet.
Probably
more
just
Yeah.
than-
salt,
Must be
pepper, and
horrible.
some garlic.
Yeah. But when it comes to biryani itself, like how do you perceive biryani? Do you think it's your own country's
Soul
food?
food.
I think it's the
soul
best thing
food.
in
It's
the
the
world.
best.
100%. It's like what you've earned after a long week of working hard.
Wow.
It's
Really?
like, you remember that for chai and biryani, what reminds me is that recent real trend that came about. I almost forgot what the purpose was. Yeah. That is what for me chai and biryani is.
Wait, what? What trend?
There was
There's
a
this
trend.
one.
Explain.
Almost forgot this was the whole point.
Yeah.
This was the whole point.
I'm telling you, like everything you do in life, you work hard,
Yeah.
you do this, you hustle. The whole point is to
Okay,
sit,
I'm gonna
relax, have a biryani.
propose a question. Which biryani is the best, chicken or mutton?
Ooh,
That's
tough
the
one.
real one.
Tough one.
I like chicken.
Chicken.
I'm not.
Honestly, me too. I like chicken.
Listen, chicken is OG,
Yeah.
but
Really? I would say mutton.
Chicken-
is
no,
OG.
chicken is OG. Chicken is
No,
OG.
no, mutton is OG.
Mutton is
Chicken.
OG. I think in Pakistan mutton is OG.
Pakistan, okay, but in India it's always chicken.
It's chicken.
right? But mutton, if done right, if the flavors go up,
Yeah,
then it
that's
can
true.
really take that
Yeah,
biryani home. Like it could beat any biryani.
Have none of
But
you
I
tried
feel like
prawn
chicken is
biryani?
best.
Oh, I
I've
love
tried.
prawn
So
biryani.
good.
It's
I
good.
love-
My wife cooks a killer prawn.
Which
biryani.
biryani?
Prawn.
Oh, I've never had that.
Never?
Girl.
Girl,
It's so good.
you need to have it. Prawn
I don't.
biryani.
It's hard for me to think of biryani in that way, but it's still really
No,
good.
it's yummy.
It's so good.
It's so
I
slaps.
feel
good.
like these
Yeah.
things we need to try authentically, like homemade, and then I'll go outside and eat.
Next
Because
should be
like,
Karak and biryani.
Yeah,
with
we should do
Mahreen.
another
Karak and
recording where
biryani.
we just try different South Asian snacks. That would be fun, actually. That would be fun. And then for you, when it comes to biryani,
Actually, biryani is very new to us.
oh,
In
Oh.
Nepal, for Nepal, yeah.
Really?
We have our
Wow.
own food. It's momo, of course.
I know that.
that's what I when
But
I
it's
think
not
of.
momos, yeah. It's momo only.
Momo. So
Oh.
momo is a plural.
You don't say chawals, right?
oh yeah.
So momos is
Which one?
Wait. I didn't get that. What?
So it's like momo is the plural. Momos. So we don't say chawals, we say chawal, right?
I always call
So-
them
so-
momos.
it's
I apologize.
not momos, it's momo only.
Momo.
So it's
Oh.
originally it came from Tibet, but now it's national food in Nepal.
I've had
Ah.
Tibetan food. And there was this place, it's called dangtuk, I think.
Yeah.
I've had beef dangtuk and oh my god, that is brilliant food. Whew.
So
Damn, I would have that every
I'm hungry
Sunday from
now.
Chennai. They had this beautiful
Wow.
place.
Momo, I've never tried it because I can't bring myself to it because it looks very kacha to me. Like
No, but
it's
when
very
you have
raw
it,
to
it's
me.
absolutely delicious.
No, it's
Is
amazing.
it?
I
So
love
good.
momo.
You should
You
have it with
it's
the
like
chili
steamed,
sauce.
right?
Yeah,
so
but that's the thing.
Yeah, with the sauce.
We like the
some momo
paka and
right now.
tala,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
but I think like you guys haven't
No,
tried.
it's pretty good.
You guys haven't tried the original momo.
No.
right?
The
It's-
original
it's
momo.
buff. You cannot, right?
no, I can have
Which one?
like with beef.
It's
Pork?
buff momo. Buff.
What's-
not
What
buff.
is
the
that?
meat?
I thought that's
It's
beef.
buffalo.
Buffalo.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can have
We
it.
As
oh,
long as it's
anything
halal.
unless
So
it's
the
pig.
original moma is the buff
Yeah.
actually. If you want to taste the
Oh, I
original,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
so the original taste of moma you can find only in buff moma,
Wow.
not chicken,
Whoa.
not this and that.
It must be delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you're telling
I
me-
don't think I've ever tried.
You're telling me the rest of the others are just like fusion food?
Right.
It's not actual
no.
like...
I've been
the
betrayed.
original
It's-
moma is.
It's what India does to most things, right?
It's
They
not.
take
It's
it and
not.
they spoil it.
It's not chicken
Sorry.
moma. It's not
Fusion.
chicken moma. Yeah. So it's buff moma.
Wow.
Mm.
And so when it comes to like you said, biryani, we have thakali. So there's the rice here and 84 different types of
84. Did I hear that right?
Oh,
Yeah, 84.
I think
Different
I've
types
tasted
of
this.
what?
You're talking about
Like
Onam.
there's
No,
like,
man.
there is
No, Onam is not
cabbage,
part of the one, but at
everything
least.
mixed.
84.
So it's a big 84 different. That's the
Concept,
the origin.
yeah.
Concept.
Wait, I just
But
want
if
you
you
to
go to
repeat that
restaurants-
because I don't think it would get it. Can you say that again? What 84 different types of what?
See, I cannot name everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So
but
there
what
is this beans, and there is, let's say,
Cabbage.
achar. You know achar,
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
okay,
pickle.
yeah.
Pickles, and there is also
Lentils.
radish,
Ooh.
and everything. So 84 different types. I cannot remember
Wait,
that
and
all.
rice in the middle.
Rice in the middle.
Wow.
But if you go to restaurant, you will find only like 10 different types.
Dude,
Rice in the middle, 10 different
But
types.
it's
There's
not.
chicken.
But does it taste like biryani or
No.
That's
It's
like rice
in a
and curry.
different
It's like
rice.
rice and
Yeah.
curry.
Okay.
But that's like
The
Onam
Onam
Pro
Sandhya,
Max.
yeah,
That's like
exactly.
Onam Pro.
Yes.
That's like Onam on steroids. That is so cool.
But yeah, in the restaurant, you can find only like up to 7 to 10 different.
I think one more
70?
thing,
7
to 10. Yeah.
another thing that I absolutely love from South Asian culture is dosa.
Oh,
Masala
yes.
dosa, yeah.
Yes.
I
Have you-
love dosa.
You like it?
I
Yeah.
love
The other day I
dosa.
posted it on my story and I'm like, does anyone know what it is? Assuming no one would, I don't know why. My DMs were filled. Like I have so many South
They're like,
Asian
how dare you
followers.
ask
They're
this
like,
question?
oh yeah, it's our favorite comfort food. My mom used to love it and then she put me onto it and I'm like, wow, it's the best thing ever.
Wait,
Yeah.
you don't have it in Pakistan?
No,
No.
we don't. We have something similar like puri, but it's deep fried.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
oily.
different.
I don't like
I
that.
love
I don't
puri.
like
Very
that.
I know. I
Puri.
like. I love. We have
Chana
that
puri
as
is
well.
a staple
Chana bhatura,
breakfast.
we have
Do you
Yeah,
that.
chana
have
bhatura,
that?
same thing.
Do you have that for breakfast? Because in
Yeah.
Pakistan,
Yes.
it's a thing for
Yeah, yeah,
breakfast.
yeah.
So
yeah.
their puri and chana is called chola bhatura.
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
right?
We even have
Yeah.
puri and bhaji.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
we
that
have
too.
that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I can't believe you guys don't have.
We don't have
masala
dosa.
We don't have
an
dosa.
equivalent to dosa, no.
But wait, is that
Wow.
only an Indian thing?
I
So
think
in
that-
Sri Lanka, like I said, the 15% Tamils, the Hindus, they have dosa as a regular
Okay.
diet. But dosa isn't such a. Even in fact, we don't have our own biryani as well, to be very honest. So Sri Lanka is a very rice and curry kind of place.
You
It's
can take.
always-
You can
Yeah.
take the Kerala biryani.
It's a lot of influence. No, honestly, our cuisine is influenced a lot by southern India, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So a lot of our curries are coconut milk based.
Oh, yummy.
Ooh,
Yes.
I love curries.
We love our fish because obviously we're an island,
Oh
we're
my
surrounded by fish. And a lot of our food is like rice. It's either white rice or brown rice. And maybe one curry which is fish, chicken, or I mean they don't eat so much beef because they're Buddhists, right? Maybe, but mutton's also not so common. But fish and chicken mostly. And then you have a lot of veggies, rice, dal, and then you have beans, tomatoes, and a lot of veggies.
I think more than anything, more than biryani or anything, I think the one thing that connects us all is rice.
Oh,
rice,
yes.
and
For
rice
sure.
products.
That's one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether it's
It's
idli,
rice.
whether it's dosa, whether it's
Correct.
biryani,
100%.
whether it's zarda rice, it's all rice.
Chawal chahiye.
Chawal.
And I feel like the day I don't have rice in a meal, I feel like I haven't eaten that
That's
day.
true.
Yeah.
That's
You're not
true.
full
It's
enough,
true.
I'm not
right?
full.
Yeah, I'm not full.
And but even though rice makes me the laziest when I have it, like I'm so lazy, but I have to,
I have
have,
to
it,
have it,
at
for
least
sure.
for lunch or dinner, at least one meal.
But health check, try not to have rice.
No, but not just rice. Like even after having a lot of meals outside, rice and dal.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to have that
You
like,
won't have
meal
that.
at least
Why is
once
that a
a
thing?
week.
That's true for
At
everyone.
least once a
Yeah.
week or
For
once
us.
in 2 weeks, I need to just have that
Dal
with some
chawal.
curd, with some pickle, and I'm good.
Oh my god.
And but why is that such a thing? Especially when we've eaten so much outside food, we go back to dal chawal.
That's our comfort.
It's like
food.
our
It's
cleanse.
a comfort home food. It's what we've been
It's a
brought up with,
cleanse.
right?
Yeah.
It's like you can go to the best hotel, but you know when you come back home and sleep in your bed, wo wali neend,
Yeah,
that sleep,
That's the best.
nothing beats
Nothing beats it. For
Same
sure.
applies to the toilets. I'm sorry to be
Oh my
so
God.
Oh
open.
yeah,
100%.
toilets 100%.
Exactly.
You cannot
Nothing
compare.
like sitting on the throne at home, right?
You cannot compare. The
Exactly.
toilets go a long way.
When we talk about dal chawal, like even in their culture in Nepal, you said there's a lot of rice and lentils. Do you guys have lentils as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
okay.
dal.
Dal
Dal
Sambar
chawal.
as well.
So it
Oh, yeah,
seems
I
like
love
more than
sambar.
biryani, maybe dal
Dal chawal
or
would be-
chawal
Dal
in
chawal,
general.
Chawal, yeah.
Yeah,
Rice.
chawal
Chawal.
in general. And then the other thing that is quite common is chai. I guess we're all having our
I'll have
lovely
another round, please.
cups of chai. Do you want some more? Do you
Yeah,
actually
it's
want
gone
some?
cold actually.
So coming back, we're talking about chai and our love for chai. And I feel like even though we didn't get into the differences yet, but of course there are some differences between Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans, Nepalis. But chai is something that will always unite us. Like always. What does chai mean to you guys?
that's such a philosophical
Yeah,
question.
it is. It is. I want.
I can write a
I
book.
want the philosophy.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
And
Start.
Naisika, you go first.
Chai is peace.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. For me, at the end of the day, because I'm also a parent, at the end of the day, when everything is just quiet at home, when not a lot of the noise and everything is there, to just sit by that one lamp in my room and have my warm cup
I'm
of
imagining
tea.
it.
My warm, and I have 3 cats, so one of them will always be by my lap. Just having that with no thoughts, it's my happy place, and it'll be probably 1 a.m. at
Moment of
It'll probably be 1
silence
a.m.
just for that, because I'm literally visualizing
Same.
it.
It is
And it
beautiful.
feels so
That
comforting.
dimly lit room where nothing can touch me. It is just pure happiness, pure bliss. And and then you think, like how you said from that trend, I forgot that this is what it was all about.
This was the whole purpose.
This was
Exactly.
this was the entire purpose.
And there's never a bad time for chai.
There is never a bad
That I'll
time.
tell you.
That's a very good point.
I would say it wakes me up if I have it late.
Yeah.
Don't you guys stay
It-
awake?
Yeah, caffeine does affect. Like this one cup of chai, I can't have it after 4 p.m. Like before 4 p.m., I have to have it. But do I crave for it after 4 p.m.? 100%. And I still have it, yes. But I know it wakes me up.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say chai reminds me of family a lot, because chai time in our family is essential. Since I was a child, I would remember it's chai time. Chai ka time ho gaya. When we have guests coming over, then again it's family. So we're gathering together over chai. We have cake rusk, if you know, from
Yeah.
Pakistan.
And biscuit.
We do cake rusk more. I don't know if you do biscuits more, but we do
We do
cake-
biscuits.
Glucose biscuits.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We
So
do. I do
yeah.
rusk more. I
Rusk.
love rusk.
We
yeah.
love rusk. Yeah, so that reminds me a lot of family. Just getting together and my mom making all of us chai. Sometimes I don't really drink it, but I would rather have my coffee. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Banned from
no.
the
Who
show.
invited her? Who invited her? Did you do your due diligence?
Yeah, no. This is the
not
only
coffee.
I should have done my screening.
Sorry
Kidding.
guys. No, but I do still have Karak Chai, honestly, and it reminds me of family the most.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like that kind of relates to the peace answer as well. Because like it's comfort. Like family reminds me of comfort. It reminds me of home. And that automatically means like peace, comfort. And for you guys?
Yeah, same. Listen, that's why we call it chai pe charcha, right? Like you are yourself. You're your authentic self when you're with your chai. Whether you're sitting with your family or with your friends. At that time, you don't have to put on a face or a personality or to please anyone. You can just be yourself. And like I said, when you have a cup of chai in your hands, the noise from the world is
shuts
gone. It's mute. It's just you in that moment living for what it's all worth it, right? You could have a horrible week. You could have had a miserable day. But in that few moments that you're sipping the chai, it's like unfiltered and it's just you with your consciousness.
You feel that breath of relief.
Exactly.
You're like,
For me, 2 things do that for me. Because I try to be a practicing Muslim. I pray 5 times a day. For me, chai and salah do that for me.
Wow.
When you take that break for prayer in a busy day, it's like you and your Lord.
It's like reset.
It's a reset. You're reminded of the purpose again. And you're like, you know what? It could be a bad day, but it can always get better. And that's what chai does for me as well. I mean, I don't want to equate it to salah. Obviously, salah is something much greater. But chai gives me that feeling that, ho jayega yaar. Like, chhod dena yaar.
It's comforting. It gives that reassurance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This too shall pass kind of thing. If it's a bad day and if it's a good day,
Wow.
you've earned it, Habibi. Give yourself a cup of chai.
That's beautiful. I don't think I've thought of it that deep, but that's true. That's
that's
true.
philosophy.
That was
Exactly.
it. That's beautiful.
No, this shows how important chai is to all of us.
100%.
Yeah. And
That is
each of us.
Siddhartha.
Am I Buddha now?
Are you asking me?
And what
And
about
you?
you for chai? You're just sipping on it.
Yeah. So when it comes to chai, I just remember my friends and family, of course, like Manal said. But if I go to specific, when I was in school, I used to have the morning class, okay, and I used to have only 20 rupees in my pocket. So it was morning, like I used to wake up at 5:30. So from 6:30 there was my class, but I used to go by walking in my school. There's no bus, so I came from different background. So I used to have 20 rupees and. It used to be in the winter season. It's cold, very cold in Kathmandu because it's in the. So yeah, then I had to decide, should I drink chai now or on break time? Because so my break used to be at 9 a.m.
And
in the
this
morning.
and you'd go
but
at 6
but the
a.m.
time I go to school was 6. So it's too cold, right?
Yeah.
I had to decide, should I drink now or should I drink later? Because I used to have only 20 rupees. So if I go specific time, I remember that time. Yeah.
And
The
how much was the
remind-
chai at the time?
It's 10 rupees, but when you drink a chai, you should have something.
Oh,
Donut.
to eat with it.
Donut. It's hot, yeah. So yeah, like I used to have a hard time, like should I
Deciding that the most
Yeah.
difficult question of the
Yes,
day: when
yes,
should I
yes,
have my chai?
Exactly.
Our
So
daily
yeah,
struggles.
it reminds me of that day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But I'll tell you what, chai is also an expression of love. When you make it for someone or when someone makes it for you, you know that person loves you.
Exactly.
Whoever made this for us, thank you. No, like, even for me, in the morning, on a Sunday morning, like when I'm waking up and my wife brings me a cup of tea, it's such a moment of happiness for me. You know what? This is it, The chai is good. Here's a woman that loves me because she's made chai for me. What can I complain
This
about?
is exactly what my husband said to me. He's like, if you can make the best chai, I'm like, you're the best wife ever. I'm like,
It's that easy.
yeah. I'm like, okay, perfect.
If you see, in my
Well,
case,
men are
it's
simple,
a
you know.
little bit on the opposite side.
Oh, really?
Because my daughter gets up for school. My husband is the one who wakes her up. And then he'll go and make tea and breakfast. And I'll be just like getting up and I'll be like, I'm so tired. Because I would have gone to bed by like 3 or 4 in the morning. So when I get up, it's again 6:30. I've slept only for 2 hours. So I get up and he'll be like, okay, here's your tea, here's your breakfast.
So again, it's still
Yeah,
an
it's an
expression
expression
of
of
love.
love, right?
That's
Yeah.
what it is. And the thing is, my tea doesn't taste the same. It tastes much better when he gives me,
makes
when he
it.
makes
Correct.
it.
Makes it.
It's true.
Yeah.
When he, and it's so simple, the tea, that it's not like, when we don't make karak, we make just the normal black tea. Even that in itself, when he makes it, it is such a different taste. And it feels so much better when he makes it for me.
Even when I think about my mom, she would usually make the
Right,
food
food
or
for
chai
us,
or whatever. But then there are times when I'm like, oh, I can make chai for her, which obviously it doesn't happen a lot because I think my chai is not the best. But I still try. And she feels so happy. Even if I know I didn't make the best chai, she will just feel happy the fact that I made it. And first of all, that it's chai. Anyone feels happy when they get chai. And second of all, that you made it for her. So yeah, there's and even when you think about like the way our families express love, like South Asians in general express love, it is through
It is
food.
through
It is
food,
through food.
100%.
Even if you have an
That's why
argument.
most of us are unfit.
That's what, even if you have an argument with your parents, they will not come and say, sorry, did you eat?
Yes.
Oh my God, so true.
Here are some
On
apples
point.
for you. Like, say sorry first, Ma.
No, my mom will come cut up apples and keep it in my room, and I'm like, okay, does this mean we're back to normal now? Yes.
No, you're so right, actually. Food is our language.
Yeah, love.
It's an apology. It's an I love you. It's an I hate you sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
everything in between. Yeah.
It's an I hate you when she bangs the table.
Yeah.
Here, eat.
Yeah, everything can be expressed basically through the food that we eat. But then do you feel like chai also kind of helps you on bad days, like things where you've had conflicts with people and it's easier? Because I've heard stories of some of my friends talk about how when they want to have a hard conversation, they have it with chai and somehow it
100%.
helps them.
100%.
I don't know about like I've never had
Okay,
that.
let me speak on this. So every time, because again, a lot of my friends are very much younger than me, every time there is a conversation I need to have with a friend, and most of our good conversations also happen like this, but anytime there's a confrontation or anything that I have to talk about, or if I feel like they have something to say to me, I'll be like, okay, let's go get some tea. And we have the mint Sulaimani from these cafes. The one that are
Those are
nice.
nice.
Those are
Yeah.
my favorite
Those are
ones.
lovely.
Yeah.
So we'll go in my friend's car, we'll sit over there, we'll get the tea, and we'll wait. And once the tea comes, I'll be like, okay, let's talk.
Let's spill the tea.
Let's spill the tea. And the thing is, I feel like the tea in itself being there it helps so much because, it gives you, I don't know why, every time I take a sip, I'm like, okay, I'm having the patience to listen. You're not going to cut through
Interesting.
any conversation. You're going to let them speak and then they give you the option. I feel like the tea in itself makes a huge difference. Fact is, if that was not there, I feel like we would be arguing more.
Correct.
I don't know why
I think
I
maybe
feel
it's
like
a
that.
little
Wow.
sip break, and you get
Yeah.
some time to process everything.
Because you're drinking, you're
And it's-
listening, you're like,
And also, I
okay.
guess it's warm. So
Yeah.
I guess that warmth helps in like calming you down, maybe. Because like a lot of people have told me that. For me, I don't know. I don't think I've had a very specific occasion where I'm like, when I have fights, I need to have tea with me. Even though maybe it would help. Maybe I should start doing that.
That would make sense, honestly.
So it's a boys' club thing, right? So when we go out as friends, like my friends and I, we don't even discuss where we're going. It's default to have a cup of chai.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's a default setting. Chal aaja, kitne baje aa raha hai? Okay, I'll meet you at 6. It's not what are we doing, where are we going. It's never that.
The location is never discussed.
It's always fixed. Chal chai peete hai, baat karte hain. Or let's have some chai and then discuss.
I don't know if this is a thing for us, like, because we go for beauty events and everything. Even though we're fully decked and everything, immediately after the event, I'm like, dude, let's go get some I want a Sulaimani, dude. Let's go. And I will stop wherever there is. I'll be like, I feel like having a tea. Let's just have a tea. And that in itself helps to unwind.
Because the events usually are so like hustle bustle music.
Very
and
overstimulating.
It's
Yeah,
like,
sometimes.
too much.
It can be
They are.
overstimulating.
And there's so many people as well.
Yeah,
There's so
yeah.
many people.
So you need something to bring you, like ground you. So that probably makes you reset.
Yeah, I
So
love
it makes
that.
sense.
Every time.
Even after a heavy biryani.
Oh yeah.
With biryani.
Oh yeah.
With biryani and after a biryani.
I don't like it with biryani.
Not the milk
Not
tea.
with,
Not
with,
the
not
milk
with.
tea.
Immediately
Oh,
after.
like
The
the
Sulaimani.
Oh yeah, Sulaimani.
The
Or
black
like
tea.
kawa. I have kawa.
We have kawa.
I love kawa. Yeah, after
No,
the
but even
biryani.
karak after biryani.
Really?
Oh, really?
No.
I
I
can't
think
because
that
I
would
feel
be
like
too
the
heavy.
biryani is
No,
so
not
heavy.
immediately after. Like you've had the
After some
biryani,
time.
a few minutes pass.
Minutes?
Okay, let's say an hour. Okay, an hour. I'll give you an hour.
He's just giving us like this thing now. He's like, if I tell it if I tell it as it is, they might judge me.
They might judge
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Judge my tummy. No, an hour maybe. Okay, and then you go have a chai. It helps. Like
Okay.
it's like you've just had a lovely experience. You've had 2 of the best things you can ever have.
My parents do
Biryani.
that, honestly. When we have like a heavy, big meal, could be biryani, could be karele or whatever. And then after a while, we just chill.
Oh, I've never done that. Anyway,
That
sorry.
would be good.
Yes.
I like it when it's spicy. When something I eat is spicy, and then I have the
Oh,
tea
yeah.
and it's
Same.
hot.
Oh,
I
yes.
love
So
that
good.
feeling.
Same,
Yeah.
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 And then we also have like masala chai. I don't know if
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Adrak
that
wali
really
chai.
popular in Pakistan though?
I don't think it's popular in Pakistan. No, it's more
More Indian.
Indian.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
We have
wouldn't know.
Kashmiri chai.
Yeah, I love Kashmir.
That's made with salt.
Well,
With
Yeah.
salt.
With
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah,
Is
with
that
salt
the pink?
and
Is that
sugar.
the pink
Pink
chai?
one.
It's
It
the
is,
pink chai.
Yeah, with
It's-
almond and
it's pink.
pistachio. Yeah.
We're gonna have it today.
No, so if you go back in the time, like chai, especially in China, in Nepal, we drink salty chai, tea, spicy tea, and there is a tea with butter.
Ooh.
What?
There's there is so many different, and
Wow,
it's
that's like keto.
healthy, by the way.
Yeah.
It's healthy. Yeah, you can say
don't
that.
say
He's
no
like, I
without
want
trying
it.
it.
He's like, I want it unhealthy.
So this is if you study the history of chai, so it used to be a medicine.
yes.
So yeah,
That's
so
actually true.
That's why there's a butter tea, there is a spicy tea, there is salty tea. There is salty, yeah.
Actually,
But I didn't know butter. Like that's.
There is
new to
butter.
me.
It's
Makhani
especially
chai.
in Tibetan.
Ooh.
You can search whoever
It's
watching. You can
probably
search
in
and
Tibet
Google it. You
and
can
all-
Google it. You can Google it. You can find like there is a butter tea.
Wow.
I mean, I've heard of tandoori chai and stuff over here.
No, but it makes sense because they have tea with flowers and everything as well.
Yeah,
with
and
also-
hibiscus,
and
with
also it's-
sakura,
yeah.
with
Jasmine,
chamomile,
Jasmine,
and all
jasmine.
those things. Yeah.
also because Tibet is a cold place, so they want fatty stuff to keep them warm.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's
So
what
that
because
makes
we
sense.
came
That
from
makes sense.
very cold place.
Mm.
We came from Himalayas, right?
Yeah.
So we have this, like I told you, and if I can say that, we came from a drinking culture, not chai culture. We alcohol,
Yeah.
No, because
So-
I get that.
Yeah.
When you
Makes
drink
sense.
alcohol, it keeps your body warm.
Yeah, like exactly. We don't drink to get drunk.
You drink
We
to
drink
feel
to
warm.
feel
Stay
warm,
warm.
and even chai.
Mm.
We have many different kind of chai, but not milk tea. It's black tea.
You have any alcohol tea as well?
Yeah.
There is no alcohol.
Oh,
tea.
okay, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, because
That
they
could be
have
a thing.
because they have
But-
Irish.
but there is-
Yeah, but
Irish
iced tea
coffee.
with alcohol
No,
they have,
Irish
right?
coffee they have. That
Yes,
is that is
Irish
with
coffee.
alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
very
is coffee
famous
with
thing.
alcohol.
You go to any pub, you'll find it.
But there is
Yeah.
there is a alcohol which is made in home, of course. You have to make it hot.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's homemade.
warm.
Is
It's
that
homemade.
like sake?
It's
Oh,
called
yeah,
it's
is it
called it's called it's called ningar.
Oh.
Ningar means it looks white. Okay, you have to make it hot, and when you drink it, it's too sweet.
It's sweet. Oh
Sweet.
wait, is it like toddy? Is it like made with fermented something?
Coconut.
Yeah,
You can
that.
make we can make
We know
this
what
with
toddy is.
rice also.
Buttermilk.
You can make it with rice.
rice. Yeah, you can make it with rice.
So there was something you were telling me before that there was a specific village
so
in.
in my hometown, my grandparents, right after they wake up, they used to have that. Or else they cannot go to work, So yeah, they used to wake up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, which is very normal back in the
That
time.
is not.
Wow.
Back in the time, like,
That's
not
happy
here.
hour.
Of course, I'm not. We're not talking about Dubai.
Now, yeah.
No,
We're
I get
talking
it. I
about
get
there,
it.
right? So it's quite normal there. And right after they wake up, they used to drink. They need that.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. You know what? Like 6, 7 years old, they used to call us, come drink this. Yeah.
That is so cool.
When
It's
you're
so-
6, 7 years
Yeah,
old.
beautiful
like,
to learn these
wow.
different
You're
cultures.
That's
cold.
so
That's
interesting.
not common in all of South
Are you
Asia,
cold?
right?
Yeah, that's
Are you
not.
cold? Okay, drink this.
Wow.
Wow.
Imagine our grandparents, they offer me like, oh, you feel cold? Okay, drink little and
But
don't
it's
drink too much.
but it's not like very concentrated in alcohol.
It's not something to get you drunk. It's something to just keep
it's
your
body
light.
intoxicated.
It's
but,
light.
but it's alcohol, by the way. Yeah? Let me clarify. It's alcohol. If you drink too much, of course
Oh,
you
you
get
can.
drunk.
That's the same with cough
Okay.
syrups also.
So, but it's no.
I didn't know that.
Like
But-
if you
but-
drink too
Alcohol,
much.
right? Mostly.
Yeah,
If you
you
drink too
didn't
much,
know
you
that,
feel
no?
intoxicated.
Benadryl.
Yeah, but
Yes.
still, it's too strong. I'm not talking about. It's not like cough syrup.
I know.
That's why in many countries they won't give you cough syrup without a
Right.
prescription.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
druggies, they get high on
That
that.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
But what? I didn't know
I
if
didn't
I
know
drink
that
too
either.
much.
I just thought it makes
What
you
is too
sleepy.
much?
No, girl. Medically, there's a difference, obviously.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But what kind of chai is popular in each of your countries?
No, in Nepal, of course, it's milk tea, chai.
Chai.
Doodh chia, we call it doodh chia.
Oh, like
Doodh
we
means
say-
milk.
Doodh
of
and
course.
chai, yeah.
Chia, yeah. So doodh chia, we call it doodh chia, and it's in Nepal. It's if you go to Nepal, you will find more tea stalls than the coffee.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Same like
everywhere.
Pakistan, like same like all of us.
Every entrepreneur starts with tea stalls
Chai,
first.
yeah.
In Nepal.
Do you remember
Good
chai
point,
it's a
wala
fact,
from
yeah.
Pakistan?
Sorry,
The chai wala from Pakistan.
the chai. Yeah, the one
I
who
mean,
got
he
famous,
was
the
the
model,
good looking
the
one
one
who
who
became
became
a
a
model.
model. Yeah, the chai one.
Huh?
You
Yeah.
didn't know that? It was such
This
a
is
viral
like
thing.
2017, I think.
Right.
It's like
This
nothing
is a long
Pakistani
time
guy,
ago,
like
though. This is-
grey-eyed, really fair. There, someone spotted him, took a photograph of him, and it went
That
viral.
was
You
in
must have
Pakistan?
seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't mistake it with the Dolly Chai wala. That guy is
Okay,
different.
then probably.
Wait, I don't know who that is. I
That
don't know
guy
who that is.
He's a tapri guy, you know. He has that stall and he has his funny hair and he works really fast and all that. That's the Indian guy.
Oh, okay.
He became famous, I think, because of Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates
Dolly
took a
Chai
video
wala.
of this Indian guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. Yeah.
Okay,
But
search
yeah,
for
the
Dolly
chai
Chai
wala.
wala when you can.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
But that's another thing, you know. He brought up the weather. Us here, 45 degrees, chai pita.
Yeah.
yeah.
People are like,
Regardless.
what is wrong
Yeah,
with you?
people are like, it's hot. Why to drink? And they'll be with their iced coffees. I'm
Exactly.
like,
No, no,
listen,
no, we still need
I'm
it.
happy with my hot tea.
You can
Like,
have your
it's fine.
Spanish latte.
Yeah. Oh.
We will give you latte and we will have chai.
But we, even when we go to the desert, even if it's hot, when we're going to the desert, we take karak with us. We take chai with
Wait,
us.
really?
Yeah.
Even Fozzie does it?
I don't know if Fozzie does that. I do
It's
that.
more of the younger people thing now, I feel. A lot of iced coffee.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is
Yeah,
iced,
that's
iced,
all like,
iced.
you
Yeah,
know,
Fozzie is
matchas
like
and the
freaking
lattes and
coffee.
all those things. For me, all of that taste the same.
How?
I don't know.
Wait, we have Manal.
I am
Oh,
that
sorry, yes.
person. I am that person. I am sorry to say that, but I am a iced coffee girlie.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's why she was so quiet
That's
when
why
we were
I've been
saying
quiet.
this.
I've been quiet.
We've been
It can
silently
be 46 degrees in
attacking
Dubai and we will need a chai at 3 p.m. in the,
Yeah.
in this
I could
proper
say
heat.
my dad and my brother are definitely like that. No matter how hot it is, whatever it is, they are drinking their chai in this scorching heat. But I need the iced coffee.
I think for me, like, because we were talking a lot about how, like, what it reminds us of.
It's that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely that. And also one thing that, because you were mentioning family and how chai reminds you of family, so similar, because every time I think of Pakistan, when I think of my country, Pakistan, I will always think of this chai time. I will think of occasions, and this happens every time we visit Pakistan. There's this one, like, it's a dhaba. We go there, it's like on the street. We go, there's just a bunch of random, some chairs. There's no like roof or anything. It's just on the street, chairs, tables. And I sit there with all my family and we go with our cousins. So we're like 20, 30 people. Like we're like a huge group. We're sitting there and we get Kashmiri chai. That they have like this whole pan. I don't know what you call it. And they're
Patila.
making, but yeah, they're
Patila.
making Kashmiri chai there. And then, and every time we go to Pakistan, we always have to go to that place, that spot.
This has to be in the winter for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, what are those shops called in your language?
We call it dhaba.
What about you?
In Sri Lanka, tea kade. Kade means shop.
What about
Kade.
what about you?
K-A-D-E.
What do they call in your language?
Tea shop?
Yeah,
Chia postle.
chia parcel.
Postle.
We call it tattukada.
Tattu kade, yeah.
Tattu kada.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tamil also.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
tattu is
different.
almost like a you know those things that laborers carry things and go with? You know that wheelie thing?
Oh, yeah.
So that's a tattu.
Okay,
basically.
okay.
Oh.
What is it?
Tattu. T-H-A-T-T-U,
Tat-
but you don't do the oo, you're like tattu.
Tattu.
Stop it there.
Yeah, tattu kada.
That's
So
it.
I want to give you a more accurate representation of Sri Lankan tea culture, okay? Because I'm Desi, I have the love for milk tea, right? But in Sri Lanka, the majority, they prefer the Soleimani, the plain tea,
Oh, okay.
not the one with milk. And the one with milk, the Sri Lankans make it horribly because there's too much milk and very less chai.
Because it's not as common.
So when I was living in Sri Lanka all my life, I used to only come home to have chai because mom would make it strong, karak, like proper karak chai. And we make it with condensed milk at home, which is what karak chai is originally made from. Evaporated milk.
This is made with evaporated?
No, but
Yeah.
this is evaporated. But at
This
home, we
is,
would make
yeah.
it with condensed milk.
Oh wait, you actually would?
Yes,
Condensed?
yeah.
I thought
Because
it
then
was
you
just
don't use
regular
sugar.
Condensed. Oh, so
Because then we
it's
don't
a
use sugar
replacement
separately
of
because
sugar.
that makes it sweet. And it's thicker, right? So I used to only come home to have a good chai because everyone in Sri Lanka doesn't make a good tea, right? So even the shops, they'll have tea, but they'll...
Like it's only my mom.
I'm sorry, but listen, guys, fellow Sri Lankans, I'm being honest, and you'll agree with me if you're a chai lover. So my love for chai comes more from my Desi background, not so much from a Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka, like I said, chai is a big deal. So the standard old, like the village type, rural type way of taking chai is they'll take Soleimani chai, plain tea, without any sugar, and they'll have jaggery on their hands.
Oh, I want to try this. I've heard
Yes.
of this.
My
So a
dad
sip
does
of plain
this,
tea
yeah.
And then
and a
they-
bite of jaggery. Sip of plain
That's
tea.
kind of like Iran too.
Yes.
Iranians do
So
this.
that's in the rural villages of Sri Lanka, the original way of having plain tea.
I think over here the Arabs have it with
Gawa.
and dates. Dates,
Dates.
as well.
Yes, dates
in
as well,
Saudi,
yes.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
whenever we'd go to Saudi, we'd have gawa and dates.
Kahawa, yes.
Love
so
it.
Kahawa is
coffee,
basically,
Arabic coffee.
isn't it like a mixture of the date seed? Isn't that what kahawa is?
It's coffee. It's
Yeah,
Arabic
gawa is
coffee.
coffee. Yeah, but what do you mean? It's with
Isn't
date seeds?
gawa made from date seeds? That's what I thought.
Some of them are.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
know.
But the word for coffee is also kawa, I think. That's
Yeah,
why the
yeah.
confusion is. But when you go for the pilgrimage, what they serve you in the mosque and stuff, that's that made from date seeds. Apparently.
Wait, I don't know. I don't know.
But you know, you can make.
We're also uneducated.
Yeah, I was like, I have this all the time, and I have no
But,
idea.
I mean, this is what I heard. I don't know how.
Okay, I don't know.
If you take your, let's say, ajwa dates and you take the thing out of it,
Seed.
the seed,
Mm.
you can blend it and make a coffee out of it, and it will actually taste like coffee.
That's
proper.
what it is. Exactly.
So wait,
Actually-
gawa is made of that then?
Yep,
The ones that
not
we...
all
Probably
of
not
them.
all gawa.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
all,
but like the
the-
ones we have in...
Okay, it's not. She's saying it's not.
Oh, it's not made of date seeds? She's fact-checking
Okay.
you right now.
I'm sorry. I heard it wrong. Whoever told me, dude.
But you can.
Don't listen to him. He's spreading misinformation.
But you can. Okay, that makes sense. That you can,
Because
though.
my mom tried that, and my mom does all these kind of things, and it worked. So
Okay.
it was really good.
So I'm half correct. Thank you, Mona, for saving that.
You're welcome.
Well, I like how we said dhaba in each of our languages. Maybe, is chai the same in all of our languages?
Chaya. We say chaya.
In Punjabi, we say cha.
Cha.
Chaya with chia.
In Sinhalese,
Chia.
Chia.
it's te.
Te?
Te.
Wait, so this is the milk tea we're talking about.
No, even
Any
tea
kind of
in
tea.
general
No,
is
so
te.
for-
Tea is called chia.
Tea, no. So for us in Malayalam, the black tea is called kattan.
Kattan.
Kattan or Sulaimani.
Oh.
It's called, yeah. It's,
Even over in
Oh.
Kerala?
yeah, and that's
Wow,
where
okay.
it came from, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
Kattan.
local thing.
No.
Okay, alright.
Kattan.
Kattan.
So we say kattan chaya. So whenever I ask from the cafeteria, if I ask someone, I'm like, cheta, oru kattan chaya.
Ah.
So I will be like, oru kattan. So kattan or Sulaimani. It
Okay.
means the black tea.
Right.
And
And,
if-
the milk tea is called chaya.
Milk tea is, chaya.
Is
chaya.
there a word for just tea?
Chaya.
Chai.
Chai.
Okay.
So ours is te in Sinhalese.
Okay. And then you were saying?
Chia.
Chia.
Chaya is the generic
We would say
term.
cha,
Yeah.
right? In
Cha is
Punjabi,
Punjabi,
cha.
but
chia,
in
But in
Urdu,
Urdu,
it's-
it's chai.
Yeah, so in my Memoni language, which is a mix of Sindh and Gujarati, we also say cha.
Mm.
Okay.
Ghar mein we have cha.
cha.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's that.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of churs.
I was trying to, because I was looking into not only the word chai, but also the feeling you have when you are having a conversation with your family with chai.
Mm.
Okay, so I was like, there must be a word for that because it's so common in our culture. There must be a word or term to describe that. In English, it's hard to, there's no word for it. But
Really?
like, there's no word for that. Like, for instance, if I say in Urdu or Punjabi, I guess, we say gupshup.
Gupshup.
When you think
Okay.
of gupshup, you
Ah.
would think of conversations with
Right.
chai.
Right.
Like, I
For
feel like you would
sure.
think of chai,
For
right?
sure.
Is there a thing like that in your languages?
I think in Memoni, no. We'll just say chapi nahi.
Mm.
Like, let's have chai.
Let's have
And
chai.
that means let's sit for a discussion.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You know, like hello cha peena hai. Let's have a cup of tea.
Okay,
Which means
okay.
okay, let's sit
I
down,
mean,
let's have a
I
chat.
would say in English, don't we kind of say spill the tea? It's,
But that's what
it's
gossip,
tea time.
right?
Yeah, that's what
Gossip,
gossip.
gossip sounds very I don't know.
Negative.
Negative.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a negative.
that's also-
And also, it's more of like a slang. Like, I don't think there's an actual word.
But the Brits do have something called tea time, which they take
Yeah,
very
but-
seriously, but their chai is
yeah, I won't.
they'll
I don't.
put
That
like a
doesn't
tea bag
count.
on it. It's like
That
hot
doesn't
water.
count.
I use tea bags.
Oh, sorry. But that's just such a. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'll lay it
But I
out there.
hate
That's
tea
not
bags.
chai.
No, I
exactly.
get it.
Like when you go to resorts in Sri Lanka, I mean, we are a tea producing nation, and they give you
Right.
tea bags. I'm like, this is an insult.
No, you get the
Boil
tea.
the damn chai and give it to me.
Hey man, you get the tea in the linen, in the what do they call the muslin cloths? Those are proper
And
tea.
yeah,
It's
I
just in a
love
muslin
You know,
cloth.
tea
until it
bags.
it boils up with those
Boils.
bubbles in the,
No,
the
I
kettle.
get him. I get him.
Okay,
Honestly.
That is what chai
And
is.
not
Yeah.
everyone has
milk,
the tea.
mix the milk into that.
Exactly.
Okay, but like, there's always time for chai.
No, the time
Tea
for
bag
chai.
tea isn't tea. That's just convenience.
That's convenience
Yeah.
for sure. Honestly, I've tried.
So remember how I said making tea for someone is an expression of love?
Yeah.
If you give someone tea with the tea bag, it means they hate you.
My husband hates
I'm
me
sorry.
now.
He
makes tea for me with tea bags,
No, but you like it. So that's
Yeah, you
different.
like it, it's a different
tea
thing.
I mean, he
bags.
could put in an extra effort.
Now you're like, oh, I need to tell him this
Does he
when I go
love me?
back.
This is what reminds me. My best friend, basically, although she's Syrian, she can make the perfect Karak Chai. And she uses fresh milk, condensed milk, and tea, of course. And it's the best tea ever. And she comes to my house and makes it for me. And that's how I learned her recipe. It's the best.
Is there like, is there a difference in the way we would make chai?
Yeah,
like,
I
if we
think
just
so.
talk about chai,
I think so.
what, how would you guys make it? Like, what is the general
Okay,
She
way?
puts tea bags.
No, well, in
That's not
India,
counted.
we use tea powder, and also it's not that I don't use tea powder. It's
Yeah,
just
I'm
that it's not that we don't use chai for tea.
No, we
I'm
believe
being
you. We
attacked.
believe
Trust me,
you.
trust
We
me.
believe you.
We use tea powder, but because of the time constraints, we sometimes over here we use tea bags.
Okay.
Because of the time constraints, we have a kettle as well. So.
We understand.
I would say my mom's way is, first of all, we use Red Label.
Yes,
So-
same with us. Yeah.
Definitely. So
Loyal to
she
the
uses the
brand.
loose tea and then boils it, and then when the boil is there, add the milk, and that's it.
So
and sugar.
just water.
Water,
tea, and
let
milk.
it come to boil, and then milk and sugar, of course.
Okay.
But with my friend, it's a bit extensive. Like, it's major.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, it's like a lot of work. So obviously it's the same things, but additional thing is my mom personally doesn't use fresh milk to boil. You know,
okay.
she uses the carton milk.
Okay, yeah.
The
For
UHT
some
ones.
reason, they find
The-
it. My
what
mom
do you
doesn't.
call it?
UHT, that's what they call
Yeah,
it.
the
What's the
UHT.
difference?
It's there's another word.
The
Long
Tetra
life.
Pak?
Long life.
Long
Long
life,
life milk,
long life,
yes.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what my mom uses.
Yeah.
Because my family doesn't love the thickness. in the
Really?
chai.
It's the
My God,
opposite
chai's
for
gotta be
us.
thick, man.
Yeah.
That's my family. But me, I like it thick.
Okay.
So that's how my best friend and I, we make it. So we add condensed milk and we also add fresh milk, and it's the best. It's so good,
So good.
guys.
Right.
Wait, so they add does she have cardamom or anything
Oh,
like that?
cardamom as well. My mom
Okay.
doesn't. My friend and I, cardamom, a bit of cinnamon.
I like cinnamon.
Ooh.
That adds such a good flavor.
Yeah, because a lot of people here in the UAE, I know, like when they make
Yes.
Kadak Chai, they add
Cardamom.
cinnamon,
Cardamom and
cardamom,
cinnamon.
saffron in some
Yeah.
parts
Oh,
as well.
saffron
too.
chai is just
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good.
that's really good.
I don't like.
So I'll be in trouble if I accept this. I do know how my tea is made, although I've pretended 14 years of my married life to my wife that I don't know how to make it. I do know. how
Oh
it's
no.
made. You know,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God, you're-
I still love you, darling.
I'm gonna
Um,
send this to your wife. This specific cutout, I'm gonna send it
No,
to her.
listen, I've always followed my mom in the way she makes it. So it's hot water, obviously tea powder. So we don't mix the milk into that. We
Oh.
wait for it to boil.
Yeah, same.
Nicely bubble up.
Oh yeah.
And then we switch off the stuff. We
Add the
strain
milk.
it.
Oh.
No, don't add the milk.
Oh.
Strain it. Take out all the powder. Then you have the plain tea. In that, we add the condensed milk and
This
mix
is
it.
so
Oh, so
interesting.
different.
Wait, so
Yeah.
won't that be cold? Won't the tea?
No, while
Then
it's still
bring
very
it
hot.
to-
No, the condensed milk is
That's okay. That's all.
Oh, I guess it
that's the thing. We
becomes
wait
hot.
for it to become really, really hot. It should be boiling hot, right?
Whoa.
वो क्या बोलते हैं उसके? I don't know, whatever the froth or whatever
Yeah,
comes
the
up, right? When
boil,
it's like
yeah.
really boiling. We strain it out, get the pure plain tea, and then we mix the condensed milk. That's what we used to do back home in Sri Lanka, but here condensed milk is expensive, so we use evaporated milk, which is
Yeah.
what we become used to.
I've never had it with condensed milk.
It's actually really good.
It's better because you don't have to add sugar there.
Right.
'Cause it's already
And
sweet.
it makes it thicker.
Makes it thicker.
And by the way, I made a video on this on how to make chai and I mentioned condensed milk instead of evaporated milk, and everyone hated me for it. They're like, "Who adds condensed milk?
Must be the Malayalis.
This is proof."
They love the evaporated milk. You go to all the Malayali cafeterias, it's always they'll pour plain tea and then they put evaporated
The
milk.
rivalry is here.
What
It
is
is
it?
here.
No, not you. I'm saying all the Malayali
Even when he was
cafeterias.
talking about the recipe saying tea powder, he's looking at me
I'm
and
so
saying
sorry,
tea powder.
Shazia. I'm so sorry.
Let
I'm just
me
being
live with my tea bags, man.
okay. Sorry, you and your tea bags.
I use Red Label tea bag.
But listen, condensed milk works out
So
great.
that
Try
unites
it.
all of us then. Yes, sorry.
Condensed milk works out great. Try it.
Okay, I do want to try it
In the
now.
plain tea, condensed milk. Don't add sugar after that.
Okay.
And then the trick is when you add the condensed milk, do it in tablespoons until you see the perfect color.
That's a lot of work. Just do it the way I
Don't
do
just
it.
like do that. Get a
like
couple of
tea bags
spoons,
is the
mix
only way.
it. If you see that perfect brownish tinge, then you know, okay, I drink this.
No, yeah, I always look at the color. Like the color, because I remember growing up, I would always have a like light chai because I didn't like it too strong. And my friends would judge me so much for the color of my chai. They wouldn't even taste it. They just see it and they're disgusted by me. They're like, how can you have, like, it's almost white. They're like,
This
it
is
needs
the
to be
problem I have
brown.
in Sri Lanka. Like most people make tea that looks white. I'm like, you gave me milk, you're not giving me chai.
We're totally hating on the color white today.
Yeah, exactly.
This entire episode is just chai. Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
No wonder
But
it's
moving
Karak
on.
with Mahreen.
Exactly. Yeah, after all.
Yes, but I think a little too much of Karak has happened. So moving on from chai, we've talked about food, right? Let's move on and we can talk a little bit more about family culture, family traditions. Actually, right before that, I wanted to talk a little bit about weird food traditions. Because I know there's some weird stuff that happens I know in Pakistan, for me, the weirdest was katakat.
What is that?
How do you,
Is it
you
the
know
brain?
Brain?
The brain of
That's
the
bheja.
Takatak?
Oh.
They also call it takatak, I
Okay.
think. But it's where they mix the brain, the
Yeah.
liver, and the testicles, everything.
Oh.
And the way they cook it, though, it's like this.
So
So that's where the name comes from, katakat.
Right.
And I find that so weird.
But I've tasted it.
I have not tasted it. I haven't
tasted
guts.
the katakat, but I've tasted the brain. And
Okay.
The brain is
Bheja
kind
is
of good.
brilliant. It's amazing.
it?
The
We
brain
love
is
bheja.
good. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, you don't start thinking like a goat or a cow in case you want. Right?
Oh, I was so concerned about
exactly.
that.
But bheja is a staple breakfast in our household, actually.
Oh.
Yes.
It's
She's look at her judging
like,
us.
because
Who am I with you?
no, the thing is, even with, see, I told you, my husband loves eating all of these things. For me, I think maybe because I love animals too much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's more so like, I'm like, how do you eat it? Chickens,
Right.
I don't know why I'm okay with.
It's okay. It's socially acceptable.
But
Yeah.
It's
I
more-
don't know, maybe.
yeah.
It's
By
like
the
that
way, we're
campaign where
talking
you draw
about
the line.
brains of a goat.
Yes, exactly.
Mutton.
Goat brains.
Goat brain.
Then it's fine. But like, is there any weird food traditions in your
So you talked
countries?
about the katakat or takatak or whatever it's
Katakat,
called.
yeah.
We have our national dish in Sri Lanka is called a kottu.
Oh wait, I've had that.
K-O-T-T-H-U.
Yeah.
So that's not like testicles or anything of
Yeah,
that sort.
yeah.
Sorry. It's
Sorry. It's apologizing. Sorry, it's not that
it's
weird.
not exotic like that. So we have atta ki roti, right? We make small tiny pieces of it, and then they add egg, veggies,
parota.
kottu parota.
Kuttu
So that's
parota.
originally Sri Lankan, by the way.
Really?
Kottu parota.
Yeah, I've
Yes,
had it. I've
yes.
had it. And
So
they put
that's
the
like a
egg on
staple.
top
Yes,
and the rice.
egg
Is
and
it
all of that.
rice?
Meat, not rice. It's always
It's
roti.
just roti.
Roti.
Yeah, yeah.
You get it in Raju omelette.
Oh, I picture. I
It
went there 2
slaps.
So
days
now
ago.
the latest variants of it are like with cheese, cream cheese, and all. No, it's good.
Oh, is it good?
Trust me.
Okay.
I mean, if I
Lactose
can, one day I'll take you
intolerance.
to a Sri Lankan restaurant in Nahada.
Let's
Or
do that.
If you love spicy and flavorful food, these guys
I think we should do a different day where we try out
different.
the
Yeah,
like we
exactly.
go to a Sri Lankan restaurant, try it out. That would be
Yeah.
fun.
So
Like
the
follow
latest version of the kottu, they started about 10, 15 years ago. It's called a dolphin. It's not dolphin meat again. Don't worry, Shazia. We're not going to harm the
My
dolphins.
soul just went.
We call it
Your heart
dolphin.
just dropped.
So in this, what we do is we make ready paratas that are ready, tab by hand, put it in the wok. Again, veggies, egg, meat, and then we hammer it with the taka 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 taka.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then that's yummy as hell. It's
Okay,
so
that's
good.
not weird.
Yeah,
That's
and then
not weird.
we even add milk on it to make it very gooey
okay,
and
that's
juicy.
That's kind of weird. Yeah.
No, it's with the cheese and the milk. Oh, it just like slips through your throat, man. It's just Amazing.
I would
I can
say
feel my lactose intolerance.
Yeah.
Coming in.
like every
We've already
culture,
had 2 cups of chai.
every culture has their own. Although they might be weird, but they're always like delicious. Every
Yes.
Yeah,
culture's food
true.
is so good.
True.
I
It
would
just
say-
sounds weird.
Yeah, I mean we can't judge without trying it. So
But I can
Facts.
judge it because it's Pakistani
Oh,
dish
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I know it's
Pakistani
not
dishes.
good.
Well, you know what's the kind of food that we all love, I'm sure? Chaats.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Chaat.
Like the Pakistanis do a fantastic
chana
samosa
chaat,
chaat.
samosa chaat.
You guys, your fruit chaat
Fruit
is...
chaat.
in
Oh,
There's a
Ramadan.
fruit chart?
Yup.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you haven't
Is
tried?
that not a thing in
Ramadan,
India?
Ramadan.
come to Sharjah, I'll show you fruit chaat.
Fruit
Oh,
chaat.
it's so
a
good.
Fruit chaat is a staple.
I wish we would have it outside of Ramadan. I love
It's
fruit
chaat with chaat masala.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
It's
so
amazing.
good.
With fruit.
Yes.
It's very
Yeah,
delicious.
it's so
Okay,
good.
I have to try this.
You have to try
Take
it.
her. You
Yeah,
should.
this is fruit chaat.
Wait,
girl.
where is this?
It's the
Sharjah?
best Pakistani invention ever, I'm sorry.
Where? No, there's this place called.
Everywhere, any
we're proud of
Pakistani
it.
restaurant will have it. Any
Yeah,
Pakistani restaurant will have it.
anyone.
In Ramadan,
I'm sure they'll
during
find it.
iftar time, they're
Well,
100%
just come to
have
our house. We'll give you
It's
stuff.
our staple in
You live
Ramadan
so
for
far
sure.
away, girl.
it. And then, of course, the pani puris. and,
Yeah, we call
dahi
it
puris.
golgappe.
Oh my God, Mumbai Masti is like my staple go-to comfort place. You know, like I love going there.
Mumbai Masti?
Yeah, they have quite a few branches. Karama.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
They do amazing jobs.
You guys call it pani puri, we call it golgappe.
Golgappe.
Yeah, we call it golgappe.
Although in Hindi movies also they sometimes call it golgappe.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
some parts of
Yeah.
India, I think they call it golgappe as
We
well.
call it pani puri.
We call it pani puri.
Pani puri. Pani puri is
No, but
the
I've heard
more-
in Hindi movies they say chalo golgappe khate hain, and it's like a romanticized thing.
romantic.
Combination.
Yeah,
How many
very
you can
Raj
eat.
Simran kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But is there, so when coming back to the
The
whole
weird
weird
combination.
food, anything that comes
There's
to
one
mind or
that
no?
comes to my mind. I don't know if it's weird. I personally love it, so I don't know. I wouldn't call it weird. Like, you know when we have karele, bitter gourd?
yes,
That
yes,
thing?
yes.
We fill it in with the
Keema?
meat, keema, and then
Mm.
sew it up and then
Yeah.
cook it.
Wait, I thought that's normal.
It is
No.
normal.
No, I like Karela. I like bitter gourd.
But we make we fill it up with meat keema and then we put thread around it to tie it up
And
then
then
cook
we
it.
cook it like
That's the
that.
first time I'm
like
hearing
And then-
steam it or fry
No,
it?
like you can.
What is it?
It's
I don't
like
know.
shallow fry, I would say.
Yeah,
And
you
you
eat
eat the bitter gourd as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
so
eat the
delicious,
bitter
girl.
Oh.
I haven't had that in so long, but when we were younger, we used to have that all the time.
So, and then while eating, you just take out the thread, so everything is just nicely cooked and everything. You're not eating the thread.
Yeah.
unless
to
you
remove
use
the thread.
vermicelli instead of a thread.
But I think that could be weird for some people.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
very
good
weird.
point. That's a good one.
Like
yeah.
Karela, I would never even touch it. Forget about it.
No, it's the
Yeah.
best thing
Hey, I
ever.
love Karela.
No,
It
I don't know
tastes
if
so
it's the
good.
best.
Not to
thing,
be mistaken
but-
with Kerala.
No, man. What do you think? I'm uneducated or what?
We're all cultured here, so
Yes,
we get
of
it.
course.
We get it.
No, in my case, I've never eaten this, but my uncle, he used to go hunting. God, I hope he's not watching this. He used to go hunting, and my family has eaten porcupines.
Ooh.
Yeah. So apparently porcupine meat is very rich in in fiber, and it's very rich in riboflavin or something. Don't quote me on that. But because porcupines in itself eat a lot of beets and everything, their meat is very rich. So my uncle has hunted porcupines and my family has eaten them. So I've never eaten it
Okay.
because I
Just putting it out
But
there.
cooking it might be a nightmare.
no. So they my cousins have skinned it and done everything.
Oh,
I couldn't
no.
watch,
Like
but
she
yeah.
can't even say it.
Yeah,
Oh my
they've
God.
done that and they've eaten it, and apparently it tastes brilliant. But
Like rabbit meat. Have you had rabbit meat?
No.
No.
It's so
my
amazing.
uncle, again,
Never.
they've gotten it, but I've never tasted it.
Rabbit
Okay,
meat
yeah,
is
that's
yummy.
that's
I feel
quite
bad.
unique. That's quite different. Unique.
You've never had rabbit meat?
I've never had
Oh,
rabbit
it's
meat.
nice.
Rabbit
lovely.
meat, everyone says it's,
It's
very tasty.
tender.
I've never had
Very
it.
much like mutton,
Oh.
but not
But
as
softer?
heavy and softer. I'd
Oh,
say.
that's
Okay, that
nice.
would be nice.
I think the problem I have with meat is when
But the animal is cute.
the sounds. But it's very
The
traumatic.
sounds? Oh, okay.
Like even for Bakri itself,
I think all of us would not want to
Would
hear
never
that.
want
the
to.
moment dude, that is what traumatized me actually as a kid. Like every time it was Bakri, then I would see the goat, I'm like, oh my god, just get me out of here.
No, yeah, it's very hard to see. I know for me, I would never be able to watch it. Like it happens outside of
In the
where I am.
background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, we were sensitized to it. As boys, we would go for the whole process, Kurbani process. Like if I was completely normal seeing a cow
My
getting
brother
slaughtered.
would always be a part of it.
I have
yeah.
seen it as a 6-year-old child, and it has traumatized me.
No, yeah, it's scary. I
It
don't
is
know
very
why it's
scary.
I think it's a maternal thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Good, fair point.
Possibly.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about food. I think we can move on to talk a little bit more about maybe family traditions, We can talk a little about marriage culture, relationship, rishtas.
Why are you looking at me?
You just happen to be there. So let's kind of dive into that. Maybe let's start with marriage culture. How is that like in each of our countries?
I'm the one who just recently got married.
Yes.
Oh, Mabruk.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I think I can dive into this. Although I haven't really experienced the toxic things that happen in our
Alhamdulillah.
culture.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Because I always despised the concept of, you going and then serving the tea, and then, the guy's mother judges you based on your appearance and all of that. That's a very normal thing that happens in Pakistan. But I think overall, it's not too bad. Like, I like the whole families coming together. Like, personally, when I got married, the whole concept was really good. The families came together, we all spoke and then got to know each other. So that was like nice. But I know there's a lot of toxic things that happen in our culture, and I see things are changing. Like, for example, in my mom's era, things were way different than how it is now. Like, now I got to meet the guy, talk to him, and then I was like, yeah, I want to marry him.
So it was arranged?
It was
can I ask?
both
Okay.
basically. Like, it was basically arranged because they came to our house, we got to know, and then the families got to know each other, and then me and the guy, we started talking.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, you know what, yeah, let's move forward.
Okay. Yeah.
So
very similar to how it would happen in my
exactly,
family as well.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think now, like, generally the way it works, or that I've seen, is we even have like matchmakers, which is probably common in all of our countries. So there's sometimes a matchmaker involved who like tells, the mother sends in a profile of the child. This is still very common. Or of the son or the daughter, and then they see it, they like it, and then the family's parents
meet.
Usually the mothers start talking first, and then eventually when they like it and the kids start talking, ultimately it is still the kid's decision. If it is not, then it's not an arranged marriage, it's a forced marriage. That's what I always say. But
I have so much tea to spill, but I want to listen to you.
But yeah, so that's generally how it happens. Of course, there are scenarios in Pakistan where it doesn't happen like that, and there are some like toxic elements where maybe the kids don't have as much say as they should, and they just get right into it, or they barely talk to the person, which I obviously don't encourage.
Because Islamically, it's actually allowed.
Yeah.
You need to meet the guy with a chaperone with you, and you need to get to know him. You are going to spend the rest of your life with him.
Yeah, you should know who you're
You
marrying.
need to know he's going to be the father of your children.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the most important decision you're going to take in your life. So how can you, as parents, force a girl into it? And then they won't allow divorce as well. So
That in itself is against the religion.
Right.
If I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
You're not
Exactly.
supposed
You
to
should be
force the girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
completely against it. There's no
Exactly.
compulsion in religion.
So but I'm happy that things are changing, and I hope they keep changing and moving forward, where girls have a choice in saying who they want to marry, and they can be open about it.
Yeah.
I think it comes from a position of privilege as well. If you are educated, if you're not one of those far off villages where you really don't have a say or a choice, right? I think if your parents are also
That's the
those
most
who have been
important.
exposed to different cultures,
Yeah,
they've
true.
seen the world. But if your parents are going to be the close-minded village folk who've not seen beyond their circle, then it becomes all the more tough. And your heart goes out to such people because, they'll never understand what true freedom or
Because
true independence is like.
We all can relate to this.
Our mothers.
No, not just that. Like, we have to log kya kahenge.
Exactly.
That freaking sentence.
that's
Log
true.
kya
Oh my God.
kahenge. So that has ruined so many lives.
I think what has happened in a good way now is obviously the whole concept of educating the girl child is helping. Back in the day, that was considered, why is a girl being educated? But
Why
now,
are we wasting our money?
exactly.
Yeah.
But now the girl child being educated has come a long way in making sure that we do our marriages well. I mean, even in my example, look, my wife's well educated. I mean, I'm just done school, no degrees or whatever. But it was very arranged in a way that, my mom said, listen, I need you to get engaged. And I'm like, okay, what about the girl? Yeah, we'll find one for you. I'm like, "Okay." Yeah. So it turns out my brother's wife had a decent looking cousin. Good looking, sorry, Amreen. Good looking cousin. And she said, listen, my mom and my sister, they were like, there's this girl, we like her, we think she's going to be a good fit for you. So I'm like, listen, I need to know if she's compatible. What has she studied? How old is she? What about her habits and all that? And she gave me all the info. And honestly, we didn't even have the chance to spend time alone. because this was 14 years ago, right? Yeah. She was 18, I was 23. No, she was 19, I was 23. So, I mean, honestly, alhamdulillah, it worked out because both of us were educated enough and we were from the same generation. So we kind of knew
how to work things
how
out.
to work things out. And I think a lot of, not enough emphasis is placed on the word called compromise. I think none of us are willing to even a little bit.
In this generation, for sure. You need to get to know him.
You need to get to
And the main thing is also, while we're trying our best as humans to find the perfect one, the best way is obviously to do istikhara on your own. That
100%.
also helps. Istikhara is a prayer that we pray before making any big decision. So I think that plays a big role, honestly.
never take God out of the equation.
Yeah, so when you have like, a center, something to ground you, that's God, that helps everything in your life. So I think that really played a big role in my marriage personally, because at some point I thought maybe I'm not gonna marry this guy, but then even he was doing his own part by praying and stuff, and then eventually we got married,
And it worked out.
It's been great.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
No, my point is, as much as marriage is encouraged in brown culture, I feel like everyone is quick to say, get married. But the moment people want to call it quits, everyone's like, no, but divorce is bad. And I feel like as much importance is given to marriage, importance should be given to divorce as well, because whether or not anyone knows, it is mentioned in the Quran. And I'm going to be very open, I don't follow the religion as much. I do believe in God though, but you have to know that if things work out, they work out. If things don't work out, you also have to learn to accept that.
And you have that as an option.
It is an option which many brown people tend to ignore. They're like, no, that is not allowed.
It's looked at in a very negative light.
Yeah, it's given in a very negative light. And I feel like it shouldn't be put like that.
This is definitely part of our culture,
Yeah.
because let's say Arab culture, for example, they don't make it such a big deal if a girl is divorced. She will instantly get remarried. It's totally fine.
I feel like, but in even Arab culture,
Really?
it's like divorce
Not
is still,
as
maybe
much.
not
much
as
as
much.
our
Not as
Desi
much.
cultures,
Okay.
not so
in
much,
Desi
right?
culture, the girl thinks if she gets divorced, her life is over.
Over.
So she will, she will take the abuse, she will take the cheating of her man, she will take whatever, but let me just stay with him.
Yeah.
And even her parents tell her, yeah, you can't come back to this house. Tera janaza usi ghar se uthega.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even if you have kids,
So
oh
cliche.
my God, you have a daughter, what are people going to say?
Who
And-
cares what people are gonna say?
Yeah, who cares what people are going to say? So
It's your life.
it's your life at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
And go.
No, go on.
No, again, this is going to be a very controversial statement. I know he's looking at me.
Why?
But even though I'm a married woman, and I've said this many times on my page as well, I do not strongly believe in the concept of marriage. If you really want to do that, good for you. Go do it if that is something you believe in. But I do not think marriage is the only way to solidify a relationship. I feel like if you have a partner, if there is mutual trust and love, and you guys know what it is that you want, go for it. I don't think marriage is absolutely, because a lot of people now itself, they're coming and saying that by the age of 21, 22, they're like, I want to get married. Everyone's getting married around me. Everyone's getting children. And I feel like, again, it is this stereotype that, only when you reach that point in life are you
Then you're
set in life.
successful, yeah.
And I don't think that should be a point, like that should be a thing for brown kids anymore. You want to be in a relationship, fine, but make sure, you explore everything around you, whether
That's
it's
the most
profession-wise, whether it is something about your passions, whether it is the kind of person that you want to be. How do you know what kind of person you're going to be with at the age of 22?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
True.
and brown kids at the age of 18, they're like with their parents. And at the age of 18, they're like, oh, get the heck out of the house, go figure out your life, start working, find a profession. You have to get married by the age of 20. And it's all done in such a short time. Like you've been shrouded by your parents till the age of 18 without being allowed to talk to boys or girls in that matter.
That's the thing.
You're not being allowed to talk. And then all of a sudden you have to meet the stranger, get married to them. You don't even know what is happening around you. And that's so much pressure
It
is
is.
there. And I feel like that in itself, that
very
cage is very toxic. Which is why I always tell, when people, especially a lot of my friends are like, everyone around me is getting married. I'm like, so what? Don't put yourself in that box where you think that marriage is the ultimatum, is the ultimate settling point in your life.
Yeah.
There's so many other things that you can do.
So I think just to come back to the conversation of how marriage is a thing in South Asia for that matter, I think one thing we can agree on is, unlike the Western culture, family is involved heavily
Very.
in our marriage.
very.
Yeah.
Very heavily.
But sometimes
and I
a
don't think
little
that's a
too
bad
much.
thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
But it should be to an extent.
Correct.
Because this all falls under, if you think your children is yours, actually you are doing it wrong for them. Because every problem comes from owning, ownership.
Yeah.
They are-
That's a very
true.
strong point, actually.
You don't own them. They are human beings.
Yeah.
So at first you should think them as a human being,
As an
not your
individual.
child.
Exactly.
So whatever all the problem we are discussing is because we came from social hierarchy seekers society.
yeah.
So this is true.
Mm.
Because we care a lot about, like you said, log kya kahenge, is because status. Hey, you have to get married with the
Right.
pilot. You should get married with the doctors, because we care a lot about our status, not our inner, the real thing what we are looking
Yeah.
for. We do everything for other people.
Others.
Exactly.
Right?
But even when you think of marriages, like the whole wedding, the grand
Oh,
wedding that
I
we spend
hate
money
that.
on.
Exactly. Because our culture is, so we came from, so for this one, off the topic, we have to study socialism, capitalism, and communism. Our culture came from socialist thinking culture, okay? So we care a lot about our status, other people, instead of our own self, right? So when we talk about Western culture, they came from capitalistic culture, like United States of America, right? America, it's a capitalism. Talking about Dubai, if you talk about Dubai is a state capitalism. That's why it's very easy to set up a business here. So government doesn't interrupt you, interfere. You do you. So that's why so many entrepreneurs, so many businesses are here, because of the way Dubai government thinks.
Yeah.
It's a state capitalism. So the problem we have from the very beginning, okay? The solution to the problem is never the solution. It's the problem itself. Solutions and problem are the one thing. So the more you try to solve your problem, the more you create the problem. So to solve the problem, there is no solving. There is just understanding. You understand the problem, it solves itself. But if you try to solve the problem, you create more problem. So in our society, we try to solve the problem. That's why there is so many problems. But try to understand why there is a problem.
Yeah, we don't actually see the root of the problem.
So it's in our thinking there is a problem. It's not because in our daughters, in our son, okay, you want to get that married. No. Okay, why am I getting bad for my daughter's choice? Because it's you, not your daughters.
Yeah.
Because you are living your dream. You want to live your dream
Through your
from
child.
your
Yes.
child.
Through your child.
That's the wrong
That's such
thing.
a big thing in our culture as well.
Yeah, that's why that's the main problem.
Yeah.
So if you just understand the way you think, that's the solution.
A lot of, especially people in our generation, parents, especially like us, since a lot of us have seen patterns, a lot of us are much more capable of breaking that generational cycle.
Correct. 100%.
We've gotten so much better at it.
100%.
But I'm not saying that there is a perfect method for parenting. There is no such thing called perfect parenting.
Each to his own.
Each to his own, okay? There is nothing called perfect parenting. If my mother has failed in certain aspects, I know I am failing in certain aspects when it comes to parenting, because there are days when my daughter's like, Mama, I hate you. Okay. I'm like, okay, girl,
Thank you.
it's fine. I can
That was
take
great
it.
to hear.
But again, you do your best in parenting. And I feel in a certain aspect, if we do our best by breaking the generational trauma that held us back, for our kids, that is definitely going to make such a difference.
Yeah,
They're going to
for
be
sure.
raised as independently thinking individuals. They have the capability of that now. And especially from such a young age, like my daughter, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, and it's all about learning and unlearning. I think like a lot of problems that we see maybe in our parents and our grandparents, it's a generational change when we see that reversed, right? We are constantly learning and unlearning. There's so much of it. Like even the point you made about divorce, right? First of all, it's obviously wrong to say that divorce is not allowed, because it is allowed. I think it's also the way they say it. They don't understand what they're trying to say. What I believe they're trying to say is that you should put your all in a relationship. You should put your absolute best, because a relationship is difficult. You have to compromise. You have to sacrifice. There are all these elements you need to be thinking about. But after you do all of that and then it just doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Then you have that as an option.
That brings us to a very important point, actually, since we're talking about what unites us in our cultures. We talked about how family is involved heavily when it comes to the actual marriages, right? But you know where the problem is? Family gets involved even after the marriage.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
everything.
where a lot of things go south. Parents are way too closely involved in the affairs between a husband and a wife. They influence a lot of decisions right? Especially on the boys' side. I can tell you with experience. They want you to treat your wife a certain
Oh
way.
no, I have
that's
to.
why-
I have
that's
to.
why-
I have to. It's even from the girl's side.
No, I'm saying
It's
from
the
my
same thing,
experience,
yeah.
right? They want you to say, show her place.
Right.
I mean, this happens in our cultures.
It
Let's
does,
be
it
honest,
does.
right? Why are you giving her so much freedom? Why are you letting her go out?
And keep in mind, this comes from another woman.
Exactly, it's from another woman. It's not even from a man.
That's the hardest thing.
It's not even from a man. That's the best part.
Yeah.
So I think what need to realize is, even with our kids, that listen, if you're getting them married off, they're two grown adults, let them sort out their own problems.
Yes.
You do not
And I
get involved
think-
until they've asked you for help.
Exactly.
Until they
We
actually
have this
need
culture.
it.
I still remember it was such a normal thing. Like if you go to Nani house, right? Grandmother's place. And all my mums and her sisters would come there and start bickering about my mother-in-law did this, my mother-in-law did that. I'm like, I mean, I was too young to understand, but now I'm thinking, I'm like, that was like a therapy session
Exactly.
Yeah, that all of them when they gather, they talk about all the
Exactly.
wives. They just
for them.
talk
And then the
about their
mothers also giving
mother-in-law.
them wrong advices.
They talk but the mothers-in-law when they all gather, they talk about their
How their daughter-in-laws are
bahus,
messed up.
their
This is
babis.
where I think the family's involvement is toxic.
That's
During the marriage, alhamdulillah, it's good. You're helping us. But listen, it's two grown adults. It's between that. I'm very often in my family also I've seen, if you let just the husband and wife talk it out,
It will work
9
out.
times out of 10 it works out.
Exactly.
again, it's same. It comes to again the root. You are acting like an owner. You
Yes.
don't own your son. You don't own your
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, before you
Exactly.
own your son, he is a husband
Yes.
Yeah.
of someone's. Before you own your daughter, she is a wife of
Yes.
someone's. Right? Again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like it's ownership.
Right.
The more you think from ownership perspective, there's exists a problem.
Yeah.
Like
So you
Shazia
just
said,
change it.
we are kind of breaking the generational curse. So, for example, my mom has gone through certain things as a generational trauma, but she is stopping it with her. So she's like, so many times she's given me those, premarital advices. So she's like, anytime you have an issue with your husband, you sort it out yourself. Don't bring it to me because I am not living with you guys.
Exactly. And
I
she
don't
doesn't
know.
exactly know what's
you don't
happening.
get I won't understand the perspective. You have to manage it on your own.
Yes.
So don't come to me with
the
your problems. Unless, of course, it's
It's a
something
last
major.
resort. You go to your parents, it's
So
a last
I think
resort.
that
Yes,
is a
yes,
very
yes.
solid advice because I'm used to telling my mom everything. So she's like, do not tell me everything because I'm obviously going to be biased towards you.
But-
And that's
And there are some mothers who are not like that. Who are
Right.
like, tell me everything. And they try to
Everything.
manipulate their daughters
Yeah.
into things like that. And that happens way more
It's
often than we
awesome.
It's
think.
very normal.
Like, it's crazy.
We never heard about the Nepali marriage culture. How does it work over there?
Our
Families and
culture.
stuff.
So I think in Nepal it's very different. We don't, our culture. In our culture, the choice is ours. No one
Oh,
interfere. Like
lovely.
our parents, they don't interfere. Okay, before yes, it's the same. Same like India, Pakistan, Sri
But
Lanka.
would you say this is from your generation or from your parents'
But
generation?
my parents' generation, yes.
It changed.
Yeah, from my parents' generation, it changed.
Okay.
You want to get married? Okay. The choice is yours. But yes, we can,
Talk
sit
to
and
each other.
discuss, okay, how, what, where. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. It's still till the date.
Okay,
Like,
wow.
now, yeah.
So is it like the Western style where you go find a girlfriend, have
do
a
you-
date?
yeah,
and
do you
then
have-
Yeah,
you
so
decide
you
yourself.
find a girlfriend, you tell your parents, yeah, this I want to get married. Okay, first let's
Meet.
let's meet with their parents
Okay.
and talk.
Okay.
So the choice is yours.
But do you tell your parents as soon as you found a girl, or it's like when you're serious about her, then you
when
tell
we're
them?
serious about it,
Okay.
of course.
So in our
Don't-
cultures, we can never do a fancy proposal.
No,
Will
we
you
can't.
marry me? It just never
Why
works.
not?
Because we got an arranged marriage.
Oh.
It's like I did that with my wife after we were engaged.
Right. I told
Yeah, that's what happens in our culture.
Yeah, I told
Same
my
with
husband,
my sister.
can you do a proposal for me now? He's like, we're married. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
yeah,
just-
but
Yeah, but I
like,
want it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I wanna
why not?
propose.
For the gram.
I'm like, because I want to experience what it feels like to be like,
And like, oh my God, she said yes for the second time.
I'm surprised you said yes.
No, in my case, there's a lot of differences that I've seen in, I think maybe in my case, or maybe that's just from my culture. The mother sometimes, if the girl is a little bit outspoken in her younger years, like me, or a little bit more of a rebel, the parents or the family's perspective then is like, okay, let's get her married off before
Oh my
things
God.
get a
oh
little
my
out
God,
of hand.
yes.
Okay.
Settle ho jayegi.
Yeah, so maybe she'll tone it down.
Then she'll be normal.
So I went a total 360 with that.
She got worse.
So my mom, now also my mom looks at me, she says it in Malayalam, so I'll translate what she's like. you used to be such a God-fearing girl. What happened to you? Now look at you.
God-fearing girl.
You have tattoos now. And like sometimes she'll just look at my husband. She was not like this when she was with me.
She blames it on your husband.
No, so my mom is the exact opposite. Like how, like sometimes if you tell your mom something, she would take your side. My mom would not take my side. Oh my God. My mom, like she was always like, she's actually told my husband, like, just like be a little strict with her.
Oh
like,
no.
Because it's not worked on me. And my husband's like, dude, it's her life. Because the moment I said, even about my tattoos, when I was talking about it, I got 5 before she even knew about it. But once I wanted to get them on my arms, like obviously, I just tell my husband, he's like, do whatever you want. Why are you asking me? I was like, okay. I was more scared to tell my mom. But I still told her, like, listen, I'm getting a tattoo day after tomorrow on my arm. And she was like, no, don't do that. Wait, she's like, okay, let me talk to your husband. And I'm like, I'm the one getting it. She's like, no, Shazia. She started like crying on the phone. I'm like, listen, mommy, it's an option. It's a choice that I've made. Let me do it. And she's like, okay, let me just talk to Jabir. Then she calls my husband. My husband's like, I mean, yeah, let her do it. So what? And then she's like,
she thought she could change your husband's mind.
And then she's like telling my husband, she's like, okay, but if I talk to your parents, will they tell her?
she tried all the
she
paths,
tried
all the
everything.
routes.
And like my husband was like, listen, you can talk to my parents. But the thing is, he also had one. And I knew that before we got married. And my mom also knew it.
Yeah.
So she was like, it's okay. He did it when he was young. It's okay. You shouldn't, it's fine. Just once in a while. It's just one. So she was like, my husband's like, you can ask my mom. My mom is not going to say anything because her son has one. So she's not going to say anything to your daughter. You can try if you want.
So now,
like 35 tattoos later.
But I think that's the same thing with like women who want to work after getting married. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, if your husband loves you, you should work. I mean,
Yeah. Like,
loves you? What do you mean?
What
Loves you?
was the point of that education?
Exactly.
And also, like, they're always telling us that, after you get married, what if your husband's okay with it, you can do it. But then, and this, or like anything where they're like, this is only allowed after marriage. But when you get married, they're like, you have to ask your husband. I'm like, this cycle just never continues.
Yeah, at this point, you're getting a degree. It's like a kind of resume for marriage.
A token.
Yeah. It's like a resume for marriage.
CV, yeah.
And I still have the degree. I'm a doctor by profession.
Oh,
What?
hello.
I didn't
Which
know
clinic
that.
we can get discounts at consultation?
No, I quit working as a doctor. Again, the next disappointment. I'm the
That's
definition.
another story.
No, I'm the definition of brown disappointment from the older generation. But in today's generation, everyone looks at me.
Everyone is like,
oh my God, like how did you do that? And that is what I like. The fact that it gives a lot of hope for the younger people. They're like, okay, so you can do this when you get older. You can do this. You can change your profession.
You can have your own opinion.
You can have your own opinion
life.
about your life.
But that's the thing about here, right? Like a lot of us couples are living here without our additional families, right? So we're in a way very lucky that nobody judges us. Like my wife works, I work. It's not like, oh my God, your wife works? Why do you need a dual income? Aren't you doing well? Why are you making her go to work and work for some other men and all that? But this would be very normal back home.
Dual income, more money.
Yeah. No, put the money aside. She has a life. She has a character. She's learned something. She wants to make a progress out of her career.
Exactly. She's
I mean,
a human
I'm all
being.
for it. In fact, I'm proud of her.
100%.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't be possible in some of the more regressive cultures that, I mean, I hate to say it, but we still have that.
Yeah.
Back in our
And this
homes,
goes
right?
back to saying again, this is not religion, this is culture. Because
100%.
religion allows a woman to work.
Khadija,
Exactly.
the Prophet's wife.
She was an
Prophet's
entrepreneur.
wife,
He married her because she was an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Yes, that's what I hate the most is when they use religion as the excuse, as a justification when there is no basis for that, and they find it completely normal. But if we use religion as a justification for something they did that's wrong, like for sometimes
You
when
had
older,
this much guts to how to
Oh, so
question
you're going to
me.
teach me
You're
religion?
going to teach me religion?
Sorry.
No,
That's
because
that cracked him up.
I'm not going to say that all arranged marriages are successful.
You better
In my case, it was a gamble. But it worked out for the very best.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yeah.
ironical, I feel like God was like, you don't believe in the concept of marriage? Watch
Let
me
me
make
show
it
you.
work for you.
Work for you.
Watch me make it work for you. And it's so ironic that to gain my freedom, I had to get
Get
married.
married. Yeah.
No, listen, it's a
Wow,
sacred
that's
bond. I don't
crazy.
think
It
any
is.
of us are ever going to say that marriage is not for us. It is. I think marriage is very important.
Marriage is
Call
important.
me old school, right? But again, it's also a religious duty.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think it changed, especially, marriage is one part. Then when you become a parent, good Lord, your life changes.
Oh my God.
Your perspective to things,
Changes
the way
a
you
lot.
look at things, You become this broad-minded person. You're looking at things in a very different way. Suddenly your purpose of life changes. So much changes when you become a parent. It's crazy. Like you look at the world with a very different view.
Oh, and I guess you become more like cautious of things. Of
course.
Yeah, you want to be a good role model.
Cautious.
You're
You have two
cautious.
daughters.
I have three.
3 daughters.
2 daughters, 1 son. So
When you get a daughter, my God, like no, there's not much of a difference between the boy or a girl child. But as a woman especially, when you get a daughter, like my God, you go into this full-on warrior mode. You get so protective around your child. Like even if I'm in a lift, like if my daughter's pressing the elevator, there's a man in the lift. It's like an instinctual thing. My grip on my daughter's hand will be so tight, and I will pull her closer to me all the time. It is such a protective instinct. And it's sometimes I do that without even realizing it.
So it's not just like our parents or our grandparents. It's like, I guess
It's
passes
That's a
It's
normal
passed
phase.
down.
That's
Yeah.
Also,
instinct.
along with that, the constant consciousness of wanting to be a good role model, right? Road rage is a perfect example of me. I drive a lot, but my son's with me. I mean, I swear on the road all the time. I'm like, I don't want to use it here, but when my children are with me, I'm like, okay, you know what? Calm.
This
down.
reminds
I want to be
me-
a good example,
This reminds me of my dad. He used to curse when he was younger, but once I was born, daughter was born basically, he became so cautious. He stopped cursing. Literally all the swear words were gone. And then especially when we grew up even more, no more.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Completely
You
changed.
become
That's why
a
they
very
said-
conscious person of how you act. Every move you make, you're worried, okay, my kids are watching, what's the message it's gonna send out?
I feel like it's interesting because even when you're like an older sibling, you have that little responsibility. Oh, like my younger. I feel like you grow up with that idea that, you have younger siblings, you need to be a good role model. And then when you have children, you need to be you grow up with that mindset of being a good person, a good example
I
for
do
the
this to
people
my elder
around
daughter
you.
all the time when she's not praying. Like, listen, the small one's watching you.
Watching you. Yeah.
She's gonna come off, listen after you, all of that. So
It's not just that you evolve when you get a parent, and you constantly learn from your own child. Because I don't
about your own flaws.
about your own flaws.
Correct.
Because the other day I just made a video. I don't put my daughter online, but I asked her if someone is mean to me in the comment section, what do I do? She's like, just call Baba. I was like, okay, I can't do that on the
the most
internet.
convenient thing.
And she's like, ignore them. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
valid.
that's a good one.
She's so valid when it comes to so
Yeah.
many things. Like once when I told her like I had to like present a panel or something, I was like, Lala, I'm really scared. What do I do? It's so weird that I talk to my daughter about these things. But
But that's
sometimes
No, but I love it.
I know.
love it.
I
think that's
actually
good.
asked her, and she was like, okay, Mama, I'll help you. And in a bit, like she just disappears for a bit, and then she comes back with this drawing, this tiny drawing with a heart and a face and everything. And she's like, Mama, this is a heart with a lot of love, and that is me. So if ever you're scared, just look at that.
So cute.
Okay, so it's
No, honestly,
It was in
sometimes
sync as well.
we need to go back to the innocence of our children to remind ourselves that sometimes we complicate things too
Right.
much.
We
complicate
I
things
wish
too
I had the
much.
innocence of a child. I wish
Yeah.
I wasn't sophisticated in things more than they should be.
Children
Yeah,
soft.
Yeah.
honestly.
And also, so when it comes to designing and all, right? There's a saying. I think it was all over social media like a couple of weeks ago. When it comes to designing, think like a child
Yes.
Yes.
Very true.
and
Oh
edit
my
like a
God.
scientist.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
And even the way like
for the creative things, whenever you want to be a very creative, you just observe the children.
Yeah.
yeah, true.
So you want to be like a children when it comes to art, when it comes to creative work. It's like to say that you be like a children.
I'm a little concerned
Yeah.
for mine though. The girl has started rapping and calling me bro now.
She's going through that
She
phase.
loves Megan
It's
Thee
in that
Stallion.
phase.
She loves Megan Thee Stallion. She
Wait,
loves
I don't know.
Mamushi, that song Okane Kasegu.
Oh,
She
yeah.
loves that song. She started rapping to that, and I was like, "Girl, where did you learn that?"
I'm not
Although God,
surprised.
15 sounds like such a
Not
difficult
surprised.
age. Mine is 13 and I'm like,
Oh,
it's like teen tantrums already.
I hate you. Close the door.
Oh, good Lord.
My
And the
7-year-old
worst
does
question, everything's like, why?
Yeah.
They want to know
Yeah.
why for every damn thing.
But I feel like that's what I love about children. I mean, of course, as a parent, I know that would be
You
annoying.
can't answer all
yeah,
the
I
time.
can't
Yeah.
like.
There are so
relate
many
to
things
that.
you can't
And
answer.
you're so used to like giving them white lies since they were kids, like the beach is closed, right? But you
But
can't
you
do that
can't do
anymore.
that.
So now that defense is closed. Now you're gonna figure out something else.
Yeah,
That's why I also want to cover one more thing. Like you said, they ask you why, right? Yeah, like that's why you have to learn to question everything, almost everything. That's where you get the clear
Yeah.
answer.
Again, like a
almost
child.
everything. Yeah, like a child, because you ask why, right? Like a Voltaire said,
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
The French philosopher Voltaire says, Judge of a man by the question he
How
asked.
do I answer it when my 7-year-old
not
asks
the
me how
answer,
a
yeah.
baby's made? How do I
Birds
answer
and the bees.
No, the birds and the thing is that is a very that's more of a very how do I say? It's a softer answer. Like for me and my daughter, like for us, what we want to do is we always try to tell her the truth, but in a softer, much more, let's say, appropriate
Yeah.
this thing. So when she's asked us that, we just told her, like, when a mother and father love each other, God gives them a
God
baby.
puts a baby in there. Yeah, that's the same
But that's
thing.
again to that. How?
How?
And I'm like,
It just happens.
yeah, it just happens.
When I was a child and I didn't know how babies are made, this was my imagination. I thought the mother just goes to the hospital and there's plenty of beds
Babies
of
to choose
babies,
from.
and you can pick, and you can pick.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
my mom picked me.
Oh,
That's what I
You're
thought.
like, I'm the special
Yeah.
one.
I'm
you were part of a buffet.
Yeah.
that is such a bad way to
Making
put
it so wholesome, and then you're like, buffet.
He's only
And
thinking
that's what
about
you do in a
food.
buffet. You go pick your favorite food.